start your show now, press 1.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. It's pretty basic. Pretty basic. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. This is a special edition of the Tim Black Show because we have phone lines open on Monday. We don't usually open phone lines on Monday. But seeing as this is a special Monday, a Monday where I think a lot of the community is going to have a lot to say, why wait till tomorrow? Tuesdays are now the second alternative day for phone lines. So it's Tuesdays and Fridays, but like I stated, we're going to go with phone lines today. Let me put the phone number up here so that you can call in. People have already started calling in, just by the way. And I've written down the first 6 calls already. First 6 callers, man. People are quick. Okay, so for anybody who's working or who was out of contact, off the grid a little bit, let me just first start off by saying something happened today. Something happened today that's going to require a lot of thinking. But then again, is it a lot of thinking about it? Let's see. Okay, Bernie Sanders endorsed Joe Biden. There, I said it. Now, some people were very shocked at this. I understand some people were shocked. I was shocked when he dropped out. Was not shocked to see him endorse Joe Biden. Let's make sure we're live. I should have done this, guys. Let me just take a quick look, make sure that my Facebook people are okay. Hey, Facebook, just checking on you real quick, guys. Hey, Janice and Paul, Anita, Kevin, Rose, Evan, Justin, Trisha, Robert, Colette, Bob TV, Brown, Ray, Ibarra, Uli, Nicole, Rose, and Rita. Thank you, Robin and Carrie. Glad you can hear me and see me. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. All right. Let me just make sure YouTube's on deck. Hey, YouTube people, how y'all doing? Hey, Jesus. Big my man Dave, Stone Mountain Dave's in the house. So is Mark and Carrie And Brian, thank you. Hey, Brian, thanks for the story ideas. I was going to do them today, but they'll have to wait till tomorrow because this takes precedence. But we will get to them. Don't worry. Definitely going to get to them. Joe Famous. Burned Out 1. Mary, how you doing? Typhoid in Dynam. Dianam 16. Okay, guys. So here we go. Right? Here we go. Bernie Sanders dropped out of the race today. He endorsed Joe Biden, as I stated earlier. I wasn't surprised for the endorsement. I was surprised when he dropped out. And this is the way I looked at it. I wanted Bernie to go all the way to the convention. I wanted Bernie to go all the way to the convention. I got to keep saying that because there are people who don't see the no Joe button and don't hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. I get it. You're angry. You got to lash out at someone. Most people ignore you, and I'm dumb enough to give you a response. I get it. So you blame me. Fine. And you assign things to me I never said and feelings I don't have. I wanted Bernie to fight all the way to the convention. I don't know what I would do if I was him, but let's say if I was me and I was in his position, I would like to think I would have fought all the way to the convention. So I wasn't surprised when he endorsed because I already know how this kind of works now. I was here in 2015, 2016. Bernie Sanders had no one else to endorse but himself. And you can't endorse yourself. Running is endorsing yourself. So you remember when we had all those candidates on stage and there was like 20 of them? All of those candidates could have endorsed each other at any time. Tulsi could have endorsed Yang. She didn't. Yang could have endorsed Tulsi. He didn't. Elizabeth could have endorsed Kamala. She didn't. Amy could have endorsed Elizabeth. She didn't. The only endorsements that came out were for Bernie and for Joe Biden. But see, Bernie only had one person he could endorse besides himself because he went to the end, and that was Joe Biden. See, this is a very simple concept. I know that other people, they got a lot of right-wingers that watch their shows now. It really helps their bottom line. That's their audience now. It's mostly independents and Republicans. My audience is a little different. We have people who are more left, not so libertarian. So, you know, they have to temper their message. But I hope I'm crystal clear about my way I see it, okay? The way I see it is Bernie didn't have much choice if Bernie wouldn't have endorsed anyone. Let's say Bernie did not endorse Biden. Oh, God. I wish he wouldn't have, okay? For the record, I wish he wouldn't have. Let me say that again. I wish Bernie would not have endorsed Joe Biden. I wish Bernie wouldn't have dropped out. I wish Bernie would have went to the convention. You can wish these things without calling people sons of bitches or cowards or snakes or scumbags or sellouts. You can want those things without dumping on the guy who went further than anyone has gone against the establishment in the last 30 years. You can still want those things without punishing him or her, in this case it's him, for going further than anyone has gone, to push the conversation to the left. You could do it. It won't be very fruitful. You won't make a lot of money off of it. You won't gain a lot of subscribers off of it, but you could do it. So anyway, the point is, I didn't want Bernie to do what he did today. I would have rather he didn't do it. But I understand why he did it, though I disagree with it. That's a difference. I believe, looking at the film, listening to Bernie over the last 4 or 5 years, I truly believe that Bernie doesn't like Trump. I truly believe Bernie thinks Trump is a horrible president. I truly believe that. And I believe that Bernie felt that he'd rather see Joe Biden become president than for Trump to get a second term. I know you may not agree, okay? I know you may not agree, and I get that. I'm telling you what I think Bernie believes. The only way to really know is to interview him, is to ask him. But he's already said it 1,000 times. Donald Trump is the most dangerous president of our lifetime. He's a misogynist, a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe, a homophobe. You know, he goes down the list. I guess people thought he was saying that for fun. And when he said that Joe Biden was a friend, maybe he really meant it, Johnson. So, I'm not saying I agree with everything. I obviously don't. I don't agree with the exit of the race. I don't agree with the endorsement, but I understand it. But see, this is the thing that's like really getting me pissed off, guys. It's really pissing me off that people overlook the fact that there was no one else for Bernie to endorse. He was the last man standing, and their candidates did not endorse Bernie. Elizabeth Warren, Andrew Yang, and Tom Steyer, of all people, turned down endorsements for Bernie Sanders. It would have been a great counter to Super Tuesday, don't you think? It would have been a great counter. So when people are criticizing Bernie Sanders for not doing a better job, why isn't anyone mentioning that these three candidates all turned Bernie down? And I think that's important. He did seek the endorsement. He did make the reach out. People talked as if Bernie didn't even try to get endorsements. He did try. He turned him down. Tom Steyer, remember the guy dancing around Bernie, pretending to be his friend to raise his profile? He wouldn't endorse Bernie. Elizabeth Warren, remember her? Talked about private dinners with Bernie, stabbed him in the back on stage, acted all shocked. You called me a liar in front of the world. That same lady wouldn't endorse Bernie. Andrew Yang, who says Bernie inspired him to even be in politics. When the chips came down, before he endorsed Biden, Bernie asked him for an endorsement, and Yang turned him down. So these things need to be put into this whole mix. Bernie Sanders tried to win this thing. He didn't. I'm upset he didn't. Not because of anything. Look, I'm upset that Bernie did not win this because I believe that his policies are better for this country and for the world. I think his policies would have helped many, many people. How many policies did he have directly for black people? I don't know. Not many. But since black people are people too, I think a lot of his policies would have helped black people, just like they helped Native American people and Hispanic people and white people and Asian people. I think his policies would have helped all people. But a lot of his policies help people who are financially challenged, disenfranchised, at the bottom. So it would have helped black people more than any other candidate in this race. So it pains me. It pains the hell out of me that he did not win this. But I do not believe that it was just one reason, one thing. If he had done one thing different, everything changes. That's not reasonable. That doesn't make sense. And that's highly unlikely. It's nice to say if Bernie just wouldn't have called Joe Biden a friend, he would have won. Look, case in point, right now there's a lady by the name of Tara Reid. Tara Reid accuses Joe Biden of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, sexual assault. They sat on that story until today. Well, they sat on that story for a year until Bernie dropped out. So the media was not going to report that Joe Biden had a sexual assault allegation, a current one or a new one, to add to the others, because he's had others, until Bernie was out of the picture, because they don't want to hurt Biden. Get my point? So you guys keep saying if Bernie would have only said this or said that, for somehow corporate media who will sit on a rape allegation is going to keep on running the story in swing states or in states Bernie needs. They're going to keep on pumping it. To me, it defies logic. It defies logic to say one thing would have done the difference. They proved that they ran with all the negative coverage they gave Bernie and all the positive coverage that they gave to Joe Biden. For you to actually sit there and say, if Bernie would have just done this one thing, all of a sudden everything would have been different, that is child shit. That's childlike. We're fighting a corrupt system. What part of system don't you understand? We're not just fighting Joe Biden. We're fighting the system. That's why it's so fucking hard. It's not just one person that we are up against. It's not just Bernie against Biden. It's Bernie against Biden, Neera Tanden, The Root, MSNBC, CNN. It is Bernie against all of it. And who was on his side? Marianne Williamson, Mike Gravel, Bill de Blasio, and his campaign staff, some of which were feeding information to outside entities. I'm still waiting on confirmation on who those inside the campaign at such high levels were feeding information to people and entities that were bashing Bernie for months. Still trying to figure out who that was. Whoever it was is a scumbag piece of shit. Is a low-life individual. We will find you. We will out you. So, this is the reality of it. I just hope that at some point we give a fair hearing to everything. But up till now, with very few exceptions, there has been this dogged attempt to slander and bash Bernie Sanders' name and reputation. There was someone who said today that Bernie Sanders squandered an awesome opportunity. And I had to correct the person who made that comment on Twitter. Because, see, opportunity is something that people give you. Bernie Sanders wasn't given an opportunity. Bernie Sanders wasn't given a damn thing. Bernie Sanders was stabbed in the back, mowed down by drunk drivers, shot in the forehead, and survived. Kicked, stomped, spit upon, lied about, marginalized, blacked out, forgotten, left for dead. He was not given an opportunity. He was given buckshot. Okay? So let's get that straight. And your simplistic view of it shows that you don't know what you're talking about and you don't understand what we up against. You're the same type of person who doesn't understand what it's like to be a disenfranchised, poor person growing up in poverty. You're the same person who doesn't understand what it's like to live underneath the poverty line, go to a bad school, have no dad, have a mom on crack. You're the same person who doesn't know what it's like to be a person who's been molested or abused and feel like you have nowhere to run. You are very simplistic in your thinking. You do not put yourself accurately in the shoes of other people. Now, of course, Bernie Sanders' position is nowhere near as dire as the others that I described. But damn it, man, if you can't understand that this is more than just he didn't want to win, then you're not getting it. And I'm only making the relation hoping that you understand the analogy. There are more forces at play. It's more than just getting a good job. It's having the right environment to learn. It's more than just having the right environment to learn. It's having the monies that you could go to school and not have to go get a job to support your brothers and sisters. It's more than just having the ability to go get a job. It's to not get shot on your way to school. To come home and not get mugged. There's a lot of implications, a lot to the story that you leave out. And I just want you to check yourself. Now, Bernie Sanders endorsed Joe Biden. Joe Biden's now, one of the reasons why I don't like this endorsement is I don't see Joe Biden offering Bernie a whole lot. Yeah, I don't see, like, he'll think about minimum wage, raising the minimum wage. He'll think about it. He's supportive of it. What the hell is supportive of it? What does supportive of it mean? That means something, Johnson? I don't know what supportive of it means. That doesn't mean yes. That doesn't mean I will support minimum wage. I will raise the minimum wage if I'm elected. That's the type of language that should be coming out of your mouth, Joe Biden. Number two, so Joe Biden should be adopting Bernie Sanders' policy positions on at least 3 or 4, and one of them better be Medicare for all. I don't see Joe Biden doing that because Joe Biden didn't run on any of those policies. Joe Biden needs to be answering for Miss Tara Reid. He needs to do more than put out a press release through his campaign and run and hide. No, he needs to answer to that. And to those fools, and to the scumbags on CBS, or on MSNBC, Casey, whatever your name is, and the other lady who basically spit upon Tara Reid's story, who basically called her a liar when you finally dragged your ass around to covering this story. This should be hell to pay for you. Scumbaggery. It's not enough to say, well, Trump has some sexual allegations of misconduct too. You know what? That's true. You're right. You're absolutely right. Trump does have some allegations of sexual misconduct out there over his head. You're right. Here's the thing. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. And I won't vote for Joe Biden either. Okay? So, since you're right, since you're saying it's a wash, I vote for neither one of them. How about we do that? How about we do that, Johnson? How about since you said, oh, well, Joe Biden don't need to answer for this, Trump didn't, fine. Both of them can go fuck themselves. How about that? Sorry, guys, but that's what they can do, Johnson. I take your point. Point made, Casey from MSNBC. You're right. Both Trump and Joe Biden have similar allegations. Perfect. So let's ignore both of them and not vote for neither one of them. How about we do that? What's wrong? What's wrong? I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not going to vote for a person who abuses women. I'm not going to do that. Oh, you will, though. Okay. Well, fine. That's on you. Good luck with that. You can't expect us to do that. And then try to shame us for not voting for him? Now, either you... See, look, here's the thing, guys. If the Democratic Party cannot have Joe Biden answer for these allegations, then they need to go back in time and take Kavanaugh off the stand. Yeah, you can. Look, I don't know Brett Kavanaugh. Doesn't seem to be the type of person I'd want to kick it with. You know what I'm saying? Even though he likes beer. But I can tell you this. I don't like hypocrites. And if you're going to have Brett Kavanaugh dragged across U Street or Pennsylvania Avenue, wherever you dragged him, if you're going to drag Brett Kavanaugh across the highway, drag him up and down Pennsylvania Avenue, well then, damn it, you need to do the same thing to Joe Biden and ask him tough questions because fair is fair. And you can't say, well, we need to protect Joe Biden from this scrutiny because it may damage him. We don't care. I don't care. Fair is fair. You're either the party of democracy or you're not. Period. Let's just say you're not. Change the name of your party. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just be honest and change the name of our party. We elect who we want. We suppress votes in the primary. Former presidents make backroom deals, make phone calls in the middle of the night to hurt other candidates, Obama. We change the rules willy-nilly to assist billionaires, Bloomberg. And we have no core ethics or value systems. Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Beto O'Rourke. I mean, where should we stop? We could keep going on with a litany of truth, couldn't we? So either Joe Biden makes Bernie Sanders or Senator Nina Turner a vice president. Didn't that feel good? Senator Nina Turner or Bernie Sanders vice president? Yeah. And then I want a promissory note that if you don't follow through on at least 3 of Bernie Sanders, you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it. At least 3 Bernie Sanders proposals, the deal is off and you got to get the hell out. Or we could do the best way. Here's my best offer. And this is my last and final offer, Joe Biden. So listen up. Joe Biden, if you want my endorsement, an endorsement of all real progressives, the true left, not the libertarians, not the center right, not the leftist right, not the weird, whatever that is these other people be doing, I don't know, not the pandering to the Dave Rubin crowd or the Tucker Carlson wing of the Democratic Party. Nah, none of that. I don't even know what these people are, man. Not the Ben Shapiro of the left. I don't know what these people are, man. I really don't. I don't get it. Not the temple of the not the temple of the Democrats or the left progressives of whatever the hell. I don't know what these people are. But if you want the support of the Tim Black Wolf Pack and people that feel similar to us about politics, here's what you do. Drop out and endorse Bernie Sanders. That's it, man. It's that simple. Just drop out and endorse Bernie, man. Then you'll have our vote. I mean, you won't actually be the guy, but you could just lie to yourself and say it's you. Because that's the only way you're going to get it, unless you make Bernie the VP, Senator Nina Turner a VP, or adopt at least 3 of those policy planks, and one better be Medicare for all, and you answer for Tara Reid, and we have a real hearing where you have to speak to what happened. I'm not saying you're convicted before being tried. I'm not saying you're guilty before being proven innocent or none of that. I'm saying you have to face the allegations. You can't just put out a press release saying, and walk away and go pick up your check. What the hell is wrong with you? I'd like to see you guys try that at work. Let a woman at your job, where you used to work, and you still have a job, and someone go to your employer and say, he assaulted me, he sexually assaulted me. You can't just go, like Dwayne from What's Happening, and go pick up your check. Give me my check, man. Ha ha. Nah. That's not how it works. What old ass bad men I don't know. What old ass 1960 sitcom are you watching, man? We're in a new era. You don't just, you got to answer for shit you do. Alyssa Milano aside, I understand. Well, I was for women, but, not when it's going to hurt a Democratic candidate. Shit. At least not one I like, anyway, Can't go messing up my money. Tell him, hubby. Tell him, hubby. Bad men, bad men. Bad women, too. Sellout women. That's what you call them. All right, guys, the phone lines are open. Phone lines are so open because I know that people have things to say. Once again, it's a special dial-in night for the Wolfpack because I know you guys have something to say. Now, I want to make sure our phone lines are up loud enough so everybody can hear. And I'm going to start with my first caller in the queue. 253 number. 253, you're live.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Tim.
Hey.
Good. This is LaTanya Bailey, Washington State. How are you, sir?
I'm good, LaTanya.
Yeah, I was Clyburn last week. Yeah, that's me. Well, boy, oh boy. It's funny. I was watching you most of the day today, and thank you, my man. We really needed this bed space, that's for sure. And I just want to say something, and believe me, I'm just as pissed as everybody else. I'm trying to not curse or cuss, as we like to say. But, man. And then, you know what? Just on a side note, I realize how much I say, when I heard myself. So everybody, check your grammar. This is yeah. So anywho, I want to talk about what we do have power in. And I want people to just calm the hell down and realize we still have a lot of power, because you know what? We, the people. We, the people. We vote these assholes in there. We vote them out. We need to show a sign of courage, of solidarity. And yes, we have to be prepared for another 4 years of Trump, no matter what we do. So let's get that right. Bernie has done everything possible under the sun, left, right, center, up, down. What can the man do more? Not a damn thing. And you know what? He's not a sellout. Of course he has to endorse Joe Biden. What's that going to look? And, look at how we talked about Elizabeth Warren when she was taking forever and a day. And I can't remember her really endorsing anybody yet. I'm not sure, but it wasn't Bernie Sanders. I do know. It doesn't matter. But everybody just, we're supposed to be on the same team, and, oh, yeah, she's progressive. You know what? No. No more. Everybody who's pissed, you better take this anger. You have a right. You can vote Bernie in. You write him in. We make him president. We don't need them. We control this. And anybody in earshot, you share this to anybody. You watch Tim Black. You join the Wolf Pack. You get on the team, and we can do this together. We have the power. And I want people to realize that and wake the hell up. It doesn't do any good to sling mud. Yes, we're all pissed, and yes, I wish he wouldn't have dropped out too, but here we are. It's no spilt milk, and it's suspended. I haven't heard, yes, a concession. Now, what does that mean? I don't know if this has ever happened in politics. I really did try to do a little research. I can't really find anything kind of this close. To the situation. But one thing I do know is that we have the power for write-in votes, and the 14 or 15 y'all who have it states haven't voted yet, you guys have still the power to vote Bernie. Bernie told you to vote Bernie. Now, maybe I didn't understand, and maybe he's got something up his sleeve. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It never was really about Bernie Sanders anyway. It's about the people, the message, the change. Bernie was just a conduit, a conduit with somewhat power so we could get a voice out there. The man has spent his entire life. And for people to turn on him, this is when we have to stay strong. We can't let one little thing like this, we have to play politics the way they do. And if we turn our backs on Bernie, they win. We need the whole solidarity, and I'm going to shut up, and I don't know if I'll just hang on for a minute and see if you want to say something and respond, whatever. But I just want people to realize we, the people, you better bring out that Constitution. You better read that Bill of Rights, and you better utilize it, because that's what it's there for. We have power. And that's all I'm going to say. And Tim, if you wanted to, I'm watching you on TV, so it's like a 10-second lag, but, no impressions today. I'm working on a few. I got a half-ass decent Bernie Sanders one, but I'll save that one for next time, maybe Friday.
Well, look, sister, I thank you so much for calling in.
You got it, brother.
I love your spirit. I love what you had to say, and I'm trying to tell you, man. I wish that more people looked at it from your point of view. I hope to help other people get there, because you're right. It's not just about Bernie, and that's what's so crazy is that people said we were a cult. And I said, no, we're not. Like, I'm with Bernie because of policy and what these policies mean, not just for me, but for my kids and my kids' kids and my neighbors and my friends and people I don't even know. I think these are the best policies for the country. This is the direction we need to go. So, but now that Bernie's out, and now that he's endorsed Joe Biden, people are like, well, there you go. That'll make him vote for Joe. No, I told you we weren't a cult. Oh, you want us to be a cult when you think he could tell us like a Jedi mind trick to go vote for Joe Biden and we all just do it? No, that's not how it works. Remember when you kept saying we were Bernie bros, and every crazy person, every pissed off person online, every ticked off anonymous person online, you thought Bernie could blink and they would stop tweeting or making memes. You've never understood the internet, you don't understand people, and you don't understand change. This is not what we're built for. We're individuals with a focus on an agenda of change in this country. We're not a monolith, and we are not a cult. But thank you, LaTanya, for your call. I appreciate you so much. A nice, fresh new voice on the Tim Black Show, man. I love it. 720, you're next in queue, and then we're going to go to 360. 720,
What's
you're
happening,
next.
Tim Black? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is a Sean from Colorado. Been a long-time watcher of yours. I'm a big fan of Jimmy, constantly listening to the entire progressive media. And, man, I appreciate you holding the live stream because I have been losing my crap right now because I think I really actually know the way forward for us. Like, I think I know what it is. And I think what that way is an anti-corruption movement, party, and platform. Because on the real, you 100% on it. You were talking like, man, this is an institution. We have been ignoring the biggest enemy and the biggest obstacle to overcoming this institution. And what is that? It's the corporate media. Like, we're looking at this situation like, oh, yeah, this is how it is. And we're not even knowing that, like, we're not even paying attention to the fact and the reality that people who listen to CNN, MSNBC think they're getting objective news. They're getting propaganda. So at the end of the day, how do you make the world a better place when you're talking to a whole bunch of people who ain't even, like, up on the fact that what they are listening to, what they're hearing, is meant to manipulate and use them? So if we have a movement that literally comes up like, you know what, man, screw the DNC, screw the RNC, both these organizations are corrupt, to the core corrupt, and the corporate media is corrupt. That's why they ain't telling you about it. So what we can really do is we can bring people together under that understanding. And once a person understands that, like CNN, MSNBC, take money from the pharmaceutical itself, you get to understand where their questioning comes from. It's just that people don't know that. And so we generally try to talk policy, but in reality, you're talking to people who have already been fed corporate propaganda, corrupt propaganda. And because the media appears to be an objective observer, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like right or wrong. It's objectivity in its capacity. They have this veneer of honesty, of neutrality. We need to destroy that veneer. If we destroy that veneer for 30% of the population, we already on our way to having a whole bunch of people who are willing to actually do. And the best point we can have right now is, I think, this pandemic. They're not talking about, like, people are in so much suffering, so much pain right now, and they even talking. They don't go, like, CNN does not go to people who are dying because they can't afford insulin. When's the last time you seen CNN or MSNBC do a story about the price of the pharmaceutical drugs? You don't hear that stuff. You never hear that stuff. And that is the point that resonates with people just on the fly because they understand, like, oh, yeah, why don't they do a story on that? This doesn't make sense. Like, I'm poor. Like, why aren't, like, I'm suffering. And the thing that they do most of all is they make poor people feel they're alone. They make people who have no one else around them to talk to about their suffering, their pain. They make us feel alone. We're not alone. We have a lot of people suffering, a lot of people who are willing to fight, who are willing to really take this to the next level, but we're poor. You know what I mean? We there's like a sound barrier for a certain amount of money that you can make. If you don't make this much money, you don't even get past the sound barrier. Like, you're not even heard. Your voice isn't even mattering. And they think that because all the poor people are limited in that sound barrier, we don't matter, that we can't talk to each other, that we can't get to the next point, that we can't organize. And it's because of the fact CNN and MSNBC own the flow of information in the country. And think about that. You own the flow of information in the country. You own the conversation, the national conversation. The only thing we got against it is Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And they've been trying to censor the hell out of all of that. But if we come together in a consolidated effort to really come together and say, listen, we're done. We're no longer saying, like, the DNC is cool because I don't want to make them look bad, might help Trump, might help the Republicans. DNC is corrupt. We need to go to this situation and say, no, we fight corruption plain out, flat out, including the corruption of the CNN and MSNBCs of the world. And by doing that, we can consolidate a movement through education. And if we have a movement that's based and predicated off of education, like literally educating one another, we will have a movement where we can just learn to teach other people how to learn. So it won't be about like, oh, can I get this person to vote for this person? You're going to give something that they can live with for the rest of their life, which is education and understanding about how they can move forward in their life. So if we have a movement that's anti-corruption and pro-education, education, because that's the real thing that we got to do, we can have a real movement. But it has to be consolidated in what you were talking about earlier, which is a complete and total and utter lack of hypocrisy. Because hypocrisy is the thing that kills everything. So if we can do that, I think we can really come together. And I think that we really have like an anti-corruption movement. We could really take this because, and this is the other thing, Joe Biden's going to lose. Like, I think 1,000% Joe Biden's going to lose. And if Joe Biden loses, they're going to blame us. But if we have a group of people who are together, who can say, no, this is why Joe Biden lost, because the Democrats are corrupt. That's why half of America doesn't vote, because they know the Democrats and the Republicans are corrupt. They don't believe in this system. They don't believe in this institution.
Okay, brother.
And we can have it. So, sorry.
That's okay, man. I got to leave it there just on the sake of time. You brought up a couple of other shows. I just want to give a shout out to Kyle Kalinske. He sent out a tweet, a 4-part tweet. He sent out a 4-part tweet that said that he may have the COVID-19. So I'm really concerned about him right now. And it's times like this when we have to we want to put aside any disagreements that we have and support one another. So anybody out there who's following Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk on Facebook or Twitter, give him a shout out. Let him know you're thinking about him. He hasn't been tested yet. He said his symptoms are somewhat mild, but he's concerned, and he was just tweeting about it. So, moreover, my friend, I do agree with you for the most part. I do agree. Education, man, the media is, almost to a fault, I blame media. Almost to a fault. I think sometimes I go so far to blame media. Because I feel like misinformed people have been misinformed on purpose, and I feel like even your most diehard, person on the, I don't know, how can I say this? The person who's ideologically challenged or against you on almost every issue, even issues of human existence and humanity, they're being fed that information somewhere. In many cases, somebody or some entity is spending millions of dollars to lie to them. The professional liars are lying to them, and then we get mad at them for not knowing better. And I know it's a slippery slope. I feel like it's a slippery slope to look at it that way, but I can't help but look at that. That's always in the back of my mind. Someone told him that nonsense. Where'd you get that from? Who told you? Who told you that crap? Let me at him. Let me at him. Who told you that? So thank you for the phone call, my friend. I appreciate you. 360, you're live on a special day. Hey, how you doing? Hey.
Tim.
Yes.
It's Sarah. I couldn't tell if it was me this time.
No problem.
So many 360 Washingtoners. Lots of people like your show in my state, it sounds like.
Hey.
I think I know why, though. Most of us are Bernie bros.
Talk to me.
Tim.
Yes.
You know what's crazy? I waited to talk to you last Friday to ask you what you thought about my hubby's opinion that he thought Bernie might step up to be VP for Joe, that might be a move. It's so funny this friggin' happened today, him endorsing him, but do you think that could happen?
Oh, man. I don't know, maybe.
Because, well, if he announced him as VP, I think a lot of us might actually vote for him. That could be a good tactic. I don't know. Because he's so crazy and unstable that he needs someone as smart and capable as Bernie as a VP for when the dementia fully kicks in, basically is what I'm thinking. I know that sounds harsh, but I also was thinking something more harsh, which was that we're in the middle of a pandemic that kills a lot of old people, and all three candidates were really old. So I'm like, why are we all freaking out? Because we don't know who's going to survive till November. not to be mean, but isn't that realistic?
Okay. Yeah, that is kind of mean, though, but okay. Go ahead. Okay.
Well, your silence, I feel like you're at least contemplating it, Tim, you know. I mean, I can't be off that much. Unless they have some miracle cure, how are they all going to survive till November if this isn't underway somehow? A real question. Aside from that, yeah, I know it's upsetting, but what's more upsetting? Did Bernie even say anything about Tara yet? Like, is he going to acknowledge it at least? You know, I don't get that. She made a police report that's pretty official at this point. So, yeah, those are my questions. Those are the things I'm pondering as a Bernie supporter. Is what about Tara, and what about dementia, and what about VP? So, yeah, Johnson, rip away. Let me know in the comments. And, Tim, thank you for everything you do once again. Appreciate you, man.
All right, sister. Wow.
All right.
I don't know
Have
if I
a
had
good
to
night.
answer those questions. I'd be doing something. I'd be playing the lottery maybe. You know, I think Bernie, like the dementia question. Really, you think Bernie's supposed to? You guys like? I don't know. God, man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that or not. You know. You saw what happened to Julian Castro when he did it. See, I've been hearing people say, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not talking about anybody specific. I know people watch all the progressive channels, so it doesn't help me to name names of people who have said stuff that I don't agree with. But let's just say this: when Julian Castro checked Joe Biden during the debate, when he said, "You don't remember what you just said 5 minutes ago? You remember what you said? You don't remember?" He got roasted for it. A couple weeks later, he was out of the race because people don't like when you do that within the party. Now, people keep pointing at what Trump does, but Trump is different. I don't think it would have helped Bernie with the rest of the Democrats or with the establishment if he were to call Joe Biden dementia, suffering from dementia or cognitive declining or any of that. I don't think that would have helped Bernie. I understand people want a game changer. They think it's going to be one thing, and if you just do that one thing, everything changes. I'm not so certain. I'm not certain that's what would have done it. I don't know. As for Tara Reid, I think who needs to answer for it is Joe Biden, not Bernie. Why should Bernie have to answer for Joe Biden's shit? Joe Biden needs to answer that question. This is all just an exercise. Because if Joe Biden doesn't answer that question, he ain't going to win the nomination. He can duck as long as he wants to. They can keep hiding him out in this. He can keep hiding out. He better hope Corona lasts until the election. And I hate to say that because I don't want anybody to get sick, Well, maybe, it can last just to keep us in the house for Joe Biden's sake. Because once that's up, he ain't going to be able to duck that question. They're already starting to ask it now. Now they are. Now that Bernie's out the way, now they want to ask the question. Get it? Well, I'm going to the next call, sis. Oh, VP. VP, this is fun. So you must have watched the same, you watched the actual dual live stream with Bernie and Biden. And Biden said something about administration. I need you to do more than just help me win. I need you to help me govern. And someone said, well, maybe he's just referring to his job in the Senate. Is Bernie in the Senate? I don't know, man. I really don't know exactly what they're talking about here. I think it would help Joe, and I think it would hurt Bernie. I mean, come on. Vice presidents really don't have any power. And do you think the country really wants two men over 77? One the VP, the other one the president? I don't think that's what America wants. I don't know if America will feel comfortable with it. Well, I'm cool with it. If Bernie gets to be the president, and then Nina Turner gets to be Secretary of State. I'm gonna go to the next call. You get me in trouble because I start joking. People think I'm serious. I really don't know. Next call, 470. 470, you live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, Tim? This is Dave from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
There he is. What's up, brother?
You know, it's really weird that you even had a show today, or a call-in show. Look, man, this is Dave from Stone Mountain, and, you know, the last election, about, 85 or 90% of Bernie supporters voted for Hillary Clinton, if I'm right?
Yep.
I wasn't one of them, okay? And ever since then, I've steadfast, and I'm not going to bow down to evil. I just won't do it. And I always try to stay objective. Sometimes I even question myself. I listen to all news sources. I don't block anybody because I don't want to become this very thing that I oppose, you know? I want to stay objective. And look, I see a lot of contempt and anger and frustration for everybody, all rightfully so, but I don't think those are the things you should use to make a decision. I think you should use facts and intelligence and weigh out the situation. And then once you know you've made the right choice, then let those emotions carry your decision over the finish line. And look, I tried to see things JD's way. I tried to, is Bernie doing what he should be doing? Remember, I called the other week and we talked about it. We addressed it. We didn't want to, but we did it anyway. And he had a lot of good points, but his conclusions aren't fact-based. They're opinions. They're what he think might happen, not what we know will happen. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't try a third party to build a third party. It doesn't mean we should vote for Joe Biden. But I think a lot of the opinions that people have, I mean, all these points, all the reasons people don't want to vote for Joe Biden, they're all legit. He's accused of sexual misconduct. He lies. He lied in the last debate, 6 times or so? I mean, clearly lied.
Yeah.
And so it's weird that you had a call-in show today because, Tim, I tell you, I was watching Joe Biden and Bernie talk, and then I watched Trump at his daily briefings today, and I'm not sure I feel the same way. I'm having a thought with myself on this. I don't think Joe Biden's evil because he's not even all there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, Joe Biden is not all there. He can't be in control completely. He's not. And, I mean, he's an old man now. And Trump, man, Trump is clearly an authoritarian psycho who has his base in a place we don't want this country to be. And as much as I want to go vote for a third party, I don't know if that's the right choice. I feel like it is, but I don't know that it is. Because based on all the facts and how united the right is, it really seems like trying to start a third party will hand over the country to right-wing lunatics completely. Because I'm not think people are going to follow us to the third party. If people were smart enough to follow us to a third party, Bernie would already be president.
Wow.
People are idiots. So I don't know. I feel like I want to stop Trump and vote for Biden. I feel like Trump is a psycho that needs to be stopped. There's a part of me that feels that way. There's a part of Bernie that feels that way. Clearly, Bernie thinks Trump is extremely dangerous in a way that Bush and Obama and Clinton and the first Bush and Reagan weren't. So I'm going to get off here, but that's just kind of how I feel right at this moment after seeing Biden talk. He's just not all there. He can't be that evil. He's not all there. I'd be more worried about his cabinet than actual Joe Biden. But Trump is evil. He's a fucking psycho. That's it, man. Let me get out of here. If somebody wants to talk about it, they can. I appreciate you, Tim.
All right, Dave, I appreciate you, man. And and see, that's part of the dilemma that we find ourselves in, what you just pointed to, man, is we don't know exactly what's the right call to make here. But I wanted to stress in my earlier live stream, and I haven't done it as much here, So let me now do it. You just reminded me, Dave. Listen, Bernie Sanders believes, based on everything I've heard from him, that Joe Biden is better for us than Trump. Now, that's rather weird. I don't know. Look, I'm not telling you to agree with it. I'm telling you, I truly believe that's what Bernie believes. Okay? That's why I say he's not a sellout. If I thought that he thought that Trump was better, that there was a better option, and he was forcing us to go with Biden, that would be a sellout. See, a sellout is somebody who's against your best interest for their own benefit. Most of the Democratic Party. No, but you know what I'm saying. That's how I see a sellout. Someone who'll throw you to the wolves to save themselves. But I don't think Bernie's saving himself. You understand? I think he truly believes that Biden is the better option, clearly the better option in his mind. So how can that be a sellout? Evidently, there were others in this race who felt the same way. They thought Biden was a better choice than Bernie. Now that, my friends, is a sellout, because that's not true. Bernie can't choose himself. He already did. He just did. But those who did not choose Bernie over Biden, who are in politics, who fucking know, there is no way that Bernie or that Biden's a better option for this country than Bernie Sanders. And they went up there and lied about it. And then we got people lying for them, making it all Bernie's fault. So that's what I disagree with. And it's tough, man. I'm going to next call. 661, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello. 661. Hello. Hello, I'm reloaded. Okay. 602. How you doing, 602? You live?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Tim Black. This is Fred. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Fred? What's on your mind, brother?
Man, thanks for your show and thanks for tonight's live. I really love your show. I like everything you do. I wanted to comment on the second caller's and what he was saying about the corporate media.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know if people know this, but to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, when you sign up to run for president as a Democrat, one of the caveats is you must endorse the eventual nominee. So I don't know why everybody's upset at Bernie.
And just to add to your comment, today Joe Biden said it on the live stream. Bernie, you just made me the nominee. See, that happened today. He was not the nominee until today. That's what Joe Biden says. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead and continue, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So you were breaking up, but yeah. So basically, a couple things, right? I think the progressive movement, if the progressive movement really wants to move forward, obviously it's not going to move forward with Bernie in 2024. I believe the best way to go about it is through Congress and in the Senate, try to get Citizens United overturned and ranked choice voting moved state by state. Mm. And if you can get ranked choice voting, then you can actually, because there's a lot of people that wanted to vote for a specific person, but they are like, well, I don't want to throw my vote away. And then you won't have a lock on the two-party system if you have ranked choice voting in concert with democracy dollars. There's a plan where, every American gets like $100 or a certain amount of money that they could put toward their candidate, and it will wash out corporate lobbying money from like 8-1. So that's what I think. I mean, honestly, I think AOC would be way too young to run for president in 2024. Me personally, I like Andrew Yang in 2024 because I think a lot of people, if you ask them about Medicare for all versus $1,000 a month, they may take the $1,000 a month over the Medicare for all. But I think a better plan is to either choose Medicare for all or $1,000 a month, where Americans could make a choice between the two. So, I mean, without the corporate media on our side, we're fighting an uphill battle.
All right.
But the bright spot here is that a lot of these old cronies are, I hate to say it, they're going to be in the grave.
All right, brother.
In 4 years.
All right. Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Woo! Jesus Christ, man. All right. So now I see why you didn't hear me earlier. Okay, so the point I want to comment on the first thing he said. He said that all the Democrats signed an agreement to endorse the eventual nominee. Joe Biden became the eventual nominee today. Anyone who endorsed Biden before today was endorsing a candidate, not the nominee. You don't get to retroactively say, well, see, now you endorsed the nominee. No, you endorsed them before they were the nominee. Your endorsement helped them become the nominee. There's a difference. I know there are people who want to not own that shit. You need to own it. Andrew Yang supporters, own it. Own the fact that your guy endorsed that guy, that the minute guy, to beat Bernie Sanders. Own it. Right? Because Yang could have chose Biden or Elizabeth Warren. He had options. Nobody. He chose to endorse Biden. Biden became the nominee today. If you endorsed him before today, I know it hurts. I know it's uncomfortable. You endorsed Joe Biden because you thought he was the better option. Okay? If you endorsing Joe Biden because you think he can win, that's not what politics is supposed to be for. You're not supposed to endorse someone because you think they're going to win and owe you some shit. You're not supposed to endorse someone because you think they might give you a job. You're not supposed to endorse someone so you can get $1,000 a month. And if nothing else has been learned from the fucking pandemic, please learn that the base should be health coverage. Because it doesn't matter if you get $1,000, dog, if you are dead. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're unhealthy, you can't spend the money if you are no longer here. All that other stuff is extra. People should be able to go to the doctor. There are a lot of countries that don't have a UBI. There's a case for a UBI. There's a case for a federal jobs guarantee. There are cases for that. I'm with that. But you are choosing between the two as if there should be a choice between the two. And that, to me, doesn't make any sense. Most countries have a form of universal health care coverage. Don't try to flip it because your guy didn't support it. All right. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. 11111. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, Tim Black. Adam from California, Costa Mesa.
What's up, Adam? Talk to me, brother.
Thanks for taking my call. I was talking to a friend earlier today, and he said, "Did you hear the news? Bernie Sanders said something, and did you hear about it?" And I didn't hear about anything until I came home and saw your headline. And so, what I told him at the time was, well, I'm a supporter of Bernie Sanders, not a follower, and I don't always agree with Bernie Sanders. And what I told him at the time was, it doesn't matter what Bernie Sanders says, it doesn't matter what Joe Biden says or anybody else says. We're in primary season, and there's a long way to go. Joe Biden is an enormously flawed candidate. Allegations against him, a couple aneurysms. You never know what's going to happen. We're a long way. He's the presumptive nominee, not the nominee. And so there's a long way to go, and I'm extremely disappointed with Bernie Sanders, but it's his prerogative as a candidate to choose his own path. And I, as a supporter, can either support or not support. And I echo your call to continue to support Bernie Sanders throughout the primaries. It's very important. And to establish that there's no way, no how Joe Biden is an acceptable choice. And there's really no one else except for Bernie Sanders. There's the Democratic Party would rather lose with Joe Biden than win with Bernie Sanders. They have no sincerity whatsoever, and I don't accept the narrative. And I'm going to play out this primary supporting Bernie Sanders and not going into whether he what the mistakes he made. And I believe there's many mistakes that you can identify, but it's his prerogative again. And he's a wonderful person, and he deserves to be there. He's the best candidate. He's the most likely to beat Trump, and I believe he will beat Trump. And I don't think it's over yet. And I don't think people should keep their eye on the ball. This is still primary season, and it should be considered that. And he's not a sellout. He just has. I think he maybe bought into the delusion that he's. I just don't. I don't agree with him. So I'm interested in what you have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam, for the phone call. And you know what? You're absolutely correct. I mean, you're right, presumptive, because there hasn't been a convention yet, right? And that's the whole purpose of a convention. We pick the nominee, right? Good point, brother. Good point. Very good point, Adam, because let's put this the other way around. Let's say if it was Bernie, none of us would feel confident until we got to that convention, right? Right, Adam? We were like, oh, God, Herbert get to the convention. We'd be over here trying to take sleeper pills to wake up, and it'll be convention day. Because we know that they can snatch it from him at any time until that convention, right? Or even at that convention. So, good point there. So, as of today, based on Bernie's endorsement and suspension of his campaign, Joe Biden becomes a presumptive nominee. But yes, things could happen. I don't want to be like my last caller, Sandy, and start wishing horrible things, Sandy. God. But point taken, Johnson. We're all getting older, and things happen. And not just, being healthy is important. And I like the point you pointed out, Adam, where you say that, you support Bernie Sanders, but you don't agree with him in all things. Look, I don't agree with him in all things. These people love to say Tim Black disagrees and he just kissed Bernie. Man, look, okay, first of all, I'm not a part of the campaign, but I've interviewed like 70% of the people on the campaign. Okay? I've been to the campaign office. I've been on their podcast. I'm pretty connected to the campaign, okay? And I still disagree with Bernie Sanders and don't have a problem doing it. I just do so respectfully. We are so toxic that if it's not done with a bunch of vitriol and cussing and spitting, then somehow it's not good enough. I must call him an MF or a bitch or something for it to be acceptable, for it to be felt that I disagree with him. I can be respectfully disagree because I think he deserves respect. There are those who don't think he deserves respect. I disagree with them. Okay? But I disagree with him. I disagree with him suspending his campaign. I disagree with him endorsing Biden. I do. I'm on the record. So I agree with you, Adam. You can support a candidate but disagree with certain movements or decisions and want to play this out. And I will play this out. I will be voting in Maryland with an absentee ballot, mail-in ballot. That's what I will be doing. I will be voting for Bernie Sanders. Then, 224. 224, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello.
224.
Hey.
224, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
224.
224. Hey, 224, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Okay. I have another 1111 number in the queue. 111, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, my name is Neil. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Neil. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. I wanted to actually share a couple things with you, one of which I tried to reach out to you about on Facebook, but I had dug up some stuff on this Matt Stoller guy who had been going around to a lot of different progressive shows and like trying to encourage people to crap all over Bernie. And actually, after doing a little research, I found out that he was part of an organization called New America, which is actually funded by a lot of Clinton donors, J.P. Morgan Chase, Walmart. I'd like to try to reach out to you again about it on Facebook and let you do with the information whatever you like. But this guy has found his way onto Democracy Now!, Jimmy Dore, Rising, and he makes a lot of really unrealistic, well, I don't even want to say unrealistic, but unfair assessments of what Bernie could have done about that recent bill, for example. He leaves out a lot of information that's critical. I actually worked for Senator Mike Gravel in 2008, and he and I are still friends. And I called him and talked to him about it, and there really is not much one senator can do to stop a bill, especially a bill that's about to pass 96-0, because you get outvoted by cloture, and then it passes anyway. But people in particular, and there's somebody that you don't mention by name, but I have to tell you that it's very refreshing to hear somebody else give the same criticism of this particular comedian individual who also had this Matt Stoller on, that he just continues to repeat the same crap over and over again about what Bernie did or did not do or failed to do. And it's giving a false image of how much power Bernie, and in particular the Progressive Caucus, actually has in the Senate and in the House. There's only one member of the Progressive Caucus in the Senate. That's Bernie Sanders. There's only about 100 or so members of Congress who are in the Progressive Caucus out of like 465 seats. There's literally only so much they can do. But this Stoller guy, funded by big people, keeps going on progressive shows to tell everybody that they're not doing anything, they're failing, or that they could have stopped the bill. And it's just, I'm noticing, I can literally watch in real time on some of these shows as these progressive hosts are essentially turning their audience not just against Bernie, but against progressives as a whole.
Yep.
And I can't get through to them about it. No, nothing you say about it. I actually just finally started doing, videos about it because there's so many people that are ignorant of how the Senate works. And they're taking advantage of that to try to turn people against him. And I don't think that's an accident, especially when you consider who funds him. I'm pretty confident that there's a concerted effort to try to break up the progressive movement. So, again, we'll try to reach out to you on Facebook and just give you the information, and you do whatever you want. But this Matt Stoller guy is not friendly to the progressive movement. I think he's literally being paid to try to destroy it. And nothing I can't seem to get through to anybody else about it. So thank you for taking my call.
I'm damn glad you got through, man. Thank you so much, Neil, for calling up and clarifying that. And I will find you on Facebook. And now I will say something that I haven't said, but it's very poignant, and I think it needs to be said. Now, I'm going to leave Democracy Now! Out of this because I haven't done any research on Democracy Now!, okay? But I'm going to tell you that I had a number of people reach out to me about The Hill. And what they were telling me is that, Tim, you need to look very closely. The Hill has an agenda. This was when I was going on the Hill. They said, Tim, the Hill has an agenda. Their idea, their job, what they're trying to do is to co-opt the progressive movement, siphon money out of it and viewership out of it, and control the narratives. That's why they're inviting all you guys on. I'm like, what? You know me, I get invited on very little shows. So I'm like, what, really? Gosh. I met Crystal. She seemed pretty cool. What are you talking about? But then I said I need to check into it. Well, turns out the Hill is owned by some rich Republican dude who's friends with Donald Trump. Really close friends. Really close friends with Ivanka as well. That may have an influence on the narratives or definitely the mission statement of the Hill. I've sort of hinted this, but I just want to make it plain and simple. Finkelstein or Finkel, I think his name is Finkelstein. Look guys, just look up the Hill, look up who owns the Hill. You're gonna come to the same conclusion I come to. Just look it up. I'm not in any way denigrating Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball, that's her show. The Rising is her show, but she's on the Hills Network. Okay? Crystal Ball owns her show, but the network guy owns the show, owns the building, the equipment, the setting, everything. I've been there. I met him. I met people there. I had no idea. So that may have something to do with what Neil is referring to. As for other people, no excuse. No excuse. .508, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
I'm not sure. Is that me?
Yes, it is. How are you?
Oh, hi. I can't believe I get to talk to you, Tim Black. So, Tim, one of the things that's absolutely driven me insane about all of this, the entire primary season, is that even, what's his name at 538.com, Nate Silver, even he was saying that Bernie was going to win every single primary. And Bernie was winning every single primary. And then all of a sudden, they decided, the Democratic establishment, I personally think it was Barack Obama, stuck his hand, the mighty hand of Barack Obama, into the entire thing, got Clyburn to endorse Biden, and Biden, who hadn't been above third in any primary race, who was widely acknowledged to be the insane, demented, pedophile, idiot candidate, was suddenly the anointed one. And all of a sudden, all of the other candidates just caved and endorsed him. And then you had all these idiotic media people like Jimmy Dore, like The Hill, putting out this narrative that said Bernie was too weak, he was too nice, he wasn't able to win the elections, even though he had been winning every single one until his coup de grace by idiotic Barack Obama, who is clearly calling the shots here. And it just pisses me off that people just completely ignore that this was a total coup, that they stole the nomination from the person who was the will of the people candidate. And we're just supposed to put up with this and act as though it's completely normal. They had rigged polling machines. They had vote slipping. I live in Massachusetts, and in Massachusetts, Biden, according to those vote machines, came out first. He had never been here. He was polling like at the bottom of the list of the candidates. Bernie came in second to Biden after this amazing rally that he had the weekend before in the Boston Commons with 13,000 people showing up in Boston. And they're going to tell me that Biden won? I mean, this is just so appalling. I just can't even believe it. And people are acting as though, oh, yeah, it's all legitimate, and it's not. And this gets at the bigger question, which is The billionaire class is basically deciding what the population is going to be willing to put up with. The absolute minimum that they can give people to shut them up enough so that they won't light the torches, won't sharpen the pitchforks to go after the billionaire class. And I frankly am astounded that nobody in the mainstream media will address this issue. No one. Except you. You do. But no one else will. That's all I had to say.
Wow, you said a lot, sister. Thank you so much for calling up and sharing your thoughts. And I appreciate it because I get tired of saying it. I'm glad you're saying it. Somebody else saying it besides me is great. It just makes me feel good that that you guys see what I see, frankly. What I can't wrap my head around, it keeps me up, guys, is why so many people that I respected or cared about, like, that I met, let it happen without fighting back. I can't believe it. You know, I question my ability to judge character because there have been people that I thought were friends, but they weren't friends. They were status climbers looking for the next shiny thing. They used me. They did whatever they could do to get ahead. I didn't recognize it. I think I'm helping people, but they're not. Like, they're just, I'm helping them, but yeah, they don't give a shit about me. They don't care about it. They'll put lies out there about me. They smear. And they don't believe in the things they said they stood for. Get it? But there are a few people that I thought I thought maybe if I call this stuff out, they're going to be right there with me. They're just waiting for somebody to stand up and lead the charge to push it back. And I did it. And I looked back and there was no one. No one. I mean, the people were flat out lying about Bernie. And I was the only one pushing back. And I looked and no one was behind me. None of these people had my back on it. And so, like, what am I missing? Well, yeah, maybe he shouldn't say friend. Do you really think a word, friend, cost him the election in South Carolina? You really think if Bernie wouldn't have called him friend, he wouldn't have got pounced Super Tuesday with all those candidates lined up behind Joe Biden? You really think Bernie's choice of the word friend occasionally in conversation is what changed people's minds? I couldn't believe it. There's so much going on. I don't know who's getting paid to do what. I don't know where the money's going. Something's going on. All I can tell you is it's not going on over here. That's all I can tell you. I'm not all of a sudden performing in Puerto Rico or someplace where other people reside that I never, get a new gig over here performing or I don't know. Like, all I can tell you is what I saw happen. I can't believe it, man. I had people, they're like, Tim, what happened, man? What happened to Bernie? What the hell happened? I know people all across this country, they could not believe it. And still, we have these people that are independent media. I think we're the good guys. We may disagree on some things, but God damn it, the silence and then the pushing of a narrative that is Bernie's fault, and then I see others just falling behind that. Like, what the hell? Barack set this shit up, and you blaming Bernie for Barack Obama? Really? That's what we're doing. And I'm going to go to the next call because I can keep going. I want you guys to talk, but it boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. Bernie's tough and smart, But he is not the former president of the United States, the first black president, and the leader of the until there's a new Democratic president. Obama is the standard bearer of the party with the highest approval rating, and he is that guy in charge of the DNC. Like he and the Clintons run that shit, and you blame Bernie? He can't even get CNN to stop roasting his ass on a daily basis, and you blame Bernie? Really? Really? It's like blaming Tamir Rice for being shot by the cops. It's like blaming a rape victim for wearing a skirt. What are you doing? It's like blaming a child for being abused. What are you doing? It's a system. What part of system don't you understand? One person versus a system. And you're blaming the one person, saying that one person should have defeated the system. And you're not even helping them defeat it. You're attacking them while the system is attacking them. You attack them too and still blame them. And then these people that are watching you do it clap for it. Passionate enough? Enough passion? Am I getting there? Am I matching it? It doesn't make sense. They want Bernie to endorse Biden, then they'll feel better about their person endorsing Biden. Nobody should endorse Biden. Not your person, not my person. No person should endorse Biden. You should not want Bernie to endorse Biden, dummy. If he does, we all lose. It's not about your guy or my guy. It's about us. Us, you greedy bastard. You petty fuckhead. It's about all of us. You greedy, selfish, narcissistic asshole. It's not about you. Has been, never was, fuckhead. All right, I'll be right back. Johnson Designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. All right. Okay. Okay. 248. 248, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Thank you.
Hey.
Sir. Tim, this is Karen Webster. I love you so much. You are just incredible. Every time you start swearing tonight, though, the phone starts breaking up, or your connection breaks up, and I can't hear you.
Oh.
But, yeah. But anyway, I want to let you know that I'm with you pretty much all the way. And the thing is, people say, oh, you can't trust politicians and this and that. You know, but Bernie has shown consistently that he cares about people. And he was the only guy stepping up saying, look, we've got a pandemic going here. We've got to take care of people. Right? And so now I think that he is trying to tell us, without coming right out and saying it, the government is a real shit show. And I've been doing some research and reading articles and everything over the weekend. Because, you know, I was really upset about Bernie dropping out and all, too. I was really PO'd and saying, no, I'm going to go right to the wall, Bernie. I'm going to write him in. But the government, we're in a lot of trouble right now. And I think Bernie is conceding to Biden because, one, we seem too radical to a lot of people. Many people don't want a revolution in this country. They just want to go back and bury their heads in the sand. We know that can't happen. But I think we scared people. And that's why they all ran to, oh, Biden, you know. But ultimately, Bernie is trying to do the best he can for us, I think. And that's what I'm going with, that he's doing the best he can for us. Now, we have to step forward as people in the United States and say we're not going to settle for fascism and tyranny and our government going around and starting wars while we're having trouble with a pandemic. But blaming Bernie will not get us there. And I think it's important. I can't tell people how to vote. I don't want to vote for Joe Biden. He's a loser. He's an old man. I've got plenty to say about that guy. I don't want to vote for him, but if Bernie thinks we need to do that, maybe we ought to listen. We trusted him on, we've trusted him on a lot of issues, and he stood by us. And if he's trying to tell us now, look, we got to get behind Biden, we're getting behind all of the other honest and decent people in the United States to stand up against what's going on in the government. If you read that New York Times article about just the one incident of what's going on with the pandemic and how Trump just totally ignored everybody telling him what he needed to do, and he had a few buddies in there saying, who are extremely right-wing and just telling them all of this horse fucky. So, yeah, it's really bad, and I think, I don't know if Biden will make it to through the primaries. I don't know that we're even going to be able to vote, because from what I hear, Donald Trump is trying to take the vote away from us. And this is not me saying it, I read the New York Times, I read Raw Story, some other progressive information over the weekend, and I've been kind of paying attention to Steve Miller. He's a problem. A big one. Yeah, we've got a real shit show on our hands, folks. I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but I'm concerned. And if Bernie is so concerned for us that he gets behind Biden, oh boy, we got problems.
Right.
You be well.
All right, sister.
Take
Thank
care
you
of yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, I'll try to. I think I've gone off enough for one night. I don't want to, push it too far. May have an underlying condition I'm not aware of. Okay. I'm sorry. Here, let me see if I can find There we go. 503, you're live. Or what's your name? What's your comment? $503.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey.
Is this me?
Yes, it is. You're live, sis.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Thank you. Okay. Bear with me. This is Sally in Portland, Oregon.
Sally.
And I've been on hold for quite a while. But I just wanted to tell you that I am now a very new loyal fan. Okay?
Amazing.
Okay, I'm an old lady, but I'm a good one to have on your side.
Welcome to the Wolfpack.
Thank you very much. And I just want to say that I was for Bernie before it was cool. Yeah, I've been for him for years, way before. I watched him defend Social Security and Medicare long before I ever needed it. I'm now 70 years old, and of course I needed it. But I watched him defend it. I watched him fight for that. And I have been with him for many, many years. And Bernie is not a sellout just because he went for Biden. But he's himself. He's been himself. He's been honest with all of us. And he said he would support the nominee, and he did, okay? But there he was, left alone, standing alone against so many, except with all of his loyal supporters, such as you and I. I know that he took on the establishment, and maybe they won this time, but they won't win every time. He fought the fight, and we have to fight on for him. But we still have him in the Senate. We still have the best senator there is, and he had to make a decision with that in mind. He can't and he won't be shut out there, and that's where we got to have faith in him. Now, as far as Tara Reid,
yes,
by gums, that woman needs to be heard. We heard from Anita Hill,
yes,
and we heard from Professor Ford. And we also heard from all the women against Cosby and, of course, Weinstein, let alone Epstein, who ended it for himself, so they claim. But this woman has a right to be heard. And I don't think Trump will let that lay low. And he's going to use it. By gum, he's going to use it. I think a lot of people have forgotten that in one of the debates with Hillary, he sat Clinton's accusers in the front row. He set them right there for her to see. And that was to say, you can throw mud at me, lady, but I'm going to throw it right back. Okay? And it's hard. It's hard for all of us because I don't like having to pick between two guys that might be perverts. That's bad. And, of course, I'm not for Biden. I don't know how I will vote right now, Tim. I really don't. But I'm not going to shame other people in their votes. Now, I wrote Bernie in 2016 because I could in the state of Oregon. We have that right. But this time, Biden's going to have to earn my vote. Bernie had it, and it's not transferable. Okay, you don't get it automatically just because you are a Democrat. You have to give me something, and I want the collateral. Okay, and I'm going to foreclose on it. However, people have to vote, and they have to vote especially on that down ticket. Those city, county, state, and national levers are so important. We can't forget that. Should Trump win, we can slow him with control in the House and the Senate. But the grassroots movement moves from the ground up. the tree started with a seed, and the roots gave it the strength to be that tree that gives us shade and shelter. And I know we can do this. We can take our party back. The party of FDR, Kennedy, Johnson, Carter, well, everything before Reagan and Clinton, taking that lead and making us donor-driven. I just want our party back. Many do actually vote on the issues and the policy and not the party. There are many young independents. You have to give them something to come out and vote for. Biden's going to have to work on that. Yeah. We aren't going to just say, hey, we're all here for you, buddy. No, you're going to have to work for it, right? But I put a lot on this on the mainstream media. They picked this candidate. They will have to get him elected without the grassroots movements that Bernie had. Biden don't have that. We know that. But Bernie had it. Biden won without doing nothing. What does that say? What does that say? The establishment has the propaganda of the mainstream media.
Yep.
We have to get around that next time. How? I don't know. Do you, Tim? But we got time to figure it out. I know we do. But let me end right now. You keep fighting, Tim, and I'm going to fight right along with you. And my Facebook Bernie group, that's now 5 years old and has over 40,000 members, will continue on too. We cannot be stopped. We just can't. Sometimes it's lonely, but I'm so glad I have you with me, Tim. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much. What's the name of that Facebook group?
What's the name of my Facebook group? Well, it's a closed group, but it's called Burners Revolutionary. Revolutionary. Yeah. Wow. God. No, I can't remember my group. Okay, it's called Burners / Progressive Revolutionaries. Okay, we're 5 years old.
Wow.
We started out when Bernie first started running, and we have been all along. We've been all along, and we really are a good group. And you friend me, you friend me, and you'll get in that group, Tim. I want you there. But I do share you. I share you very often in the group, okay?
Thank you so much. I
It's
appreciate
my group. Oh, you betcha. You betcha.
Wow. Thank you, sister. What a great call. Let me move it on. But wow, that's inspiring, man. She could tell a story, couldn't she, guys? I ain't want her to go, but I know I got you guys waiting. Just well laid out and inspiring. And thank you, because I need it too. And it gives me a chance to let my blood pressure come down a little bit when you have great calls like this where you can kind of, I'll let you, look, now, just because I don't get riled up the rest of the night doesn't mean I'm not riled up inside. I just chill a little bit. Bald head sweating. We're going to go to the next call. I got a 404 number here. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
It's Robin from Decatur, Georgia.
Hey, Robin. What's on your mind tonight, Robin?
My man, Tim. I just have to appreciate the fact that you keep it positive. I listen to a whole lot of, progressive stuff out there, and you are always at the top. You always make us shine. So I just have to say thank you for that. I've been wanting to call you for about 4 weeks, but every time I want to call, the atmosphere changes with the political landscape. So I want to start off by saying, in the Democratic primary, why is there voter suppression? I mean, because it just seems like that suppression is the same thing Republicans do, but the Democrats do it because they want to suppress, poor people, the youth vote, disabled people, black and brown people, but they're supposed to be our party. So who are they really, there for? And it just seems like this whole primary, the whole primary season, it lasts for like, what, a year and a half? And it's like a grift to me because they put all these candidates out there. We go out there, we put in our money, your time, your this, your that. But in the end, they decide who the candidate is. So it's like they're just milking money and emotion from the electorate. But in the end, you know, they decide. So what's the point? Also, if the black vote is so necessary for the Democratic Party, why is there never a black agenda? I mean, never anything offered. Absolutely nothing. I wanted Bernie to stay in because in Georgia I hadn't voted yet. But maybe this coronavirus, you know, it's a awful, ugly thing that's happening, but it's showing the ugliness of the way our society is set up. So I don't know. Do you think that by vote by mail, I mean, do we even have a chance at really reflecting the true support of Bernie Sanders? You know, it's the paper trail, you know, because honestly, the man was cheated. Hold on. He was cheated so bad in this election, and it just really pisses me off to no end when I hear people say, you know, Biden, he won, he swept through, he did this, he did that. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. And it's like nails on the chalkboard for me to hear, you know, how well Biden did. Really? And also, when media says that people don't want a political revolution, yes, they do. Because if they didn't, if they really did, or I don't even know how to say it, but half the people don't even vote. That's where your revolution really is in the ones who've just given up, you know. So in the end, I just want to say, if we can't get our man, I don't know, you know, we have some time to just try to figure out some way to let, you know, the world or let the country know that, no, his supporters, I mean, he always said, not me, us. It's time for the us to you know, to step up. And in the end, I want to leave this party and, you know, move on to another. I don't even know where do we have to go, but dim exit date. Let's just make it one big, you know, FU to the establishment. Let's just all just, you know, switch parties on one date. So that's about all I have for tonight, but thank you again. And I don't know, I'm hanging in there, and, you know, I got my fingers crossed because something's got to give, because so many of us are, we need a revolution. We really need a revolution.
All right, Robin. Well, thank you for the phone call, and thank you for the kind words too, sister. I appreciate you. You know, make me over here blushing, man. I appreciate you, and I agree with you. As far as leaving the Democratic Party, I beat you. I left 4 years ago because of this type of shit. I went. Look, you're not supposed to film when you go in a polling place. I filmed till I got to the door, man. Had my phone right there, like, I'm going in here. I came out, I voted for Jill Stein. So I ain't voting for these. Man, get out of here. Never look back. But Maryland, you gotta keep going up and registering who you're gonna vote for, because you can't be independent and vote for any primary. So that's the only catch to it. But we haven't voted yet, so, you know. But I agree. Now, when you said something that stuck out, you said, why do black people If the Democratic Party can't win without the black vote, why don't the Democratic Party have a black agenda? And there are people that say it's racist to even have a black agenda. That's because they don't realize that black people own 1/10 of the wealth of white people in this country. And I'm not talking about take the richest white person, the poorest black person. I'm saying average. The average. See, that's a big difference, isn't it? You got $10, I got $1. But here's the thing. The Democratic Party don't care about that. And when I say that, I don't mean every single person in the Democratic Party. I know some good people who are Democrats. Nina Turner is a Democrat. Portia Bolger is a Democrat. Nomiki Konst is a Democrat. You know, I know some good Democrat people. Cori Bush is a Democrat. Paula Swearingen is a Democrat. These are not sellouts. It's not everybody. You know? But the party itself is run by people with big money who could care less, and that's why. And until we show that we will go vote Republican or do something else, what's their incentive? They pay lip service and tell you, these people racist. And then people go vote for Joe Biden. You can't have that. You don't deserve that. Okay, let me go vote for Joe Biden. He'll give me what I deserve. Nothing. But thank you, Rob, and I'm hoping somebody else will comment further on your comments. I'd like to try to get some more people in here. But you did an excellent job. Thank you so much for being here. 425, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment, 425?
Hey, my man. It's Chad here in Seattle.
Chad, what's up, brother? How are you?
Yeah, I just thought I'd call in, finish that call that I got cut off on Friday. And,
yeah, that was bad, man. Go right ahead, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I was just going to say that, I know that if, my mom, for instance, had those two guiding factors like government or, respectable pastor that would keep her safe, that would make me feel a lot better, but that's just not the reality. So, it kind of reminds me of, the story, right? Scorpion, the frog. Scorpion's like, hey, you, let me get over there. He's like, hell nah, scary pinchers and shit. I'm not going to take you over the river, but yeah, it does it anyway. Ends up dying along the way. Well, the moral of that story is all about, take that nature into account before you make a decision. But that's just a recent rendition. That's not even the real story. The original was the scorpion and the turtle. And the moral of that story was halfway through the river, sure as shit, that stinger comes hammering down, but glances off the shell. And then this time the turtle says, hey, why'd you do that, buddy? And then he basically says the same thing to my nature. And then in that very same sense, instead of having this damned if you do, damned if you don't, it's more like, well, you were stupid enough to try. That was the moral back then. That was back in the 1500s. But today's story is completely different. This is more like, the elephant and the mouse, right? So the elephant, he says to this mouse, hey, help me get across that river. And the mouse is looking around, seeing desert. He's like, what river, man? What are you talking about? He's like, don't be a fucking stupid commie. Help me across that river of eternal economic growth. All you got to do is take my leg and lead me across. So he reluctantly agrees. But just like that, gets squashed into a bloody pulp. And there's no time to ask, why did you do that? Because you're dead. There's no second chance. And that's what we're looking at now here on Earth. We don't have any more time. So I hear all this insights and microspective kind of looks in the right direction, did, didn't, reason, rationale. The overall point is we need a firebrand to come at us somewhere. Somebody that we can trust and may not have 40 years behind their belt. But we need somebody to be able to go up there and poke these motherfuckers in the eye and say, no, you are a fucking rapist. You can't be the candidate. Or somebody who's going to go up to Trump and say, you neglected this entire country, motherfucker, by ignoring the warning signs from China, the early warnings from Taiwan, who corrected China for downplaying it themselves, and you did the same thing. So we need some kind of person that's going to do that. So unless we have that happen, I think that was pretty much the only thing that we could have hoped for out of this whole 2020 debacle, is that kind of person. So when you guys know who that is, let me know. Hit me up, and I'll follow. And I'll spend $2,800 on that man instead. All right, you have a great rest of your show, dude.
Wow, Chad, that was dope, man. I'm glad you called back to share that story, to share it. I thought the same thing earlier today. I thought the same thing. I was like, wow. You know? But what people are looking for, I believe, is a revolutionary who's willing to die. And even then, it probably won't be enough. But that's where we're at. I hate to say it that way, but if it's somebody looking for a corporate job and to get a book deal and make some money and be on CNN, yeah, I said it. Or Fox News, yeah, I said that too. Breitbart, The Blaze, or whatever end game they have in mind, that person's not going to do it for you. Now, it's going to have to be somebody stupid enough to think that that there's some pride in a legacy, even if you're not here to witness it yourself, that type of thing. You know, there's something, like something greater than yourself. And Bernie had that. But 40 years in this system, that's a long time, guys. I work places with people who've been places 10 years in D.C. 10, 15 years, and they never thought of leaving. Never thought of doing their own thing. Didn't even like what they were doing, but never truly could picture in their minds to leave that job because it's just what they're used to doing. So, yeah, I'll just say I've thought about what the next step will have to be. And let's just say when it happens, if we run into a person that's willing to throw it all away for us and for the kids, really throw it away, we gotta get behind that, because that's a unique thing. Because we're looking for, and look, guys, I'm not exaggerating. We need a new MLK. We really do. We need a new JFK, MLK. New Malcolm X. We need one of those. Medgar Evers. Because this is make no mistake about it, this is dangerous. We're talking about people looking for job opportunities and getting their name out there. Not that type of shit, okay? You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to make sure you understand. Not somebody looking to climb the ladder. Somebody who's willing to say bump the ladder and drill a hole in the floor of the ceiling, whatever, and put you on their shoulders and thrust you inside. And to do that again and again and again. We need freedom. We need the railroad, the underground railroad. We need that. We need Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman, not Kamala Harris. Okay? All right? That's what we need. Okay. Well.
90 seconds.
333, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 313, I'm sorry. Wow.
Oh, hi, Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Okay, it's me, Laura. I'm from Michigan. I was just, I'm listening to you say about MLK and JFK, and I'm thinking, it was all during the 60s. And it's like, you know what? I think that
60 seconds.
It sounds silly about it, but it's kind of like something that just happens. Like, like it's a thing that, this group of people were born and came about in a certain time. It's like a lot of movements. It's just a coming together of something. You can't really, I don't know, you just can't really, it just creates itself. But I was just thinking, about Joe Biden and all that stuff. I was thinking about how Bernie endorsed him today. I got really sick when I heard it. But then I started thinking, I've been listening to your show, I've been sitting here, and I started thinking, I'm wondering, I'm always suspicious.
10 seconds.
Because I'm thinking maybe he endorsed him so early because they already know he's not even going to win. That they know, I'm sure I feel like a lot of polls are just propaganda. They're just made to influence everybody. And I have a feeling they know more than we do. And I just think it's very odd that Bernie would endorse him so early. And I'm also thinking, even about these, I think we're all going to be doing a paper ballot. I think we're going to be doing mail-in. I can't imagine things are going to be that turned around by November that we're going to the polls. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about everything going on now. But I'd love to see mail-in because I think we'd see a true, I think we'd see a more accurate account because I don't trust these machines or anything. And because even from the last election, I thought, I don't get how the Green Party didn't get more votes.
Yeah.
Because I voted for Jill Stein. I know a lot of people that voted for Jill Stein. Not, we were all Bernie supporters, and when he dropped out, or whatever, we all went to Jill Stein. It's like, how did the Green Party not get 5%?
Right.
Because, that was almost the goal. So, So, I think if we have mail-in, I think it's going to be more accurate. I'm very curious to see what that'll be. Because, the other thing about even the progressive movement, and I think that we're still going. It's still moving ahead. It was great what Bernie did, and brought us all together, but it's moving ahead. I was thinking about people like Rashida Tlaib. That woman's a real scrapper. She's fighting all the time. And, like AOC, and there's a number of new progressives in the Congress. So I think that's all a good thing. And, you know what? I wanted to say one thing. Even I feel like we got really played by the Democratic establishment. I always remember that just before Super Tuesday when Joe Biden was getting interviewed, and he was like so calm about it. Here he had been losing big time to everybody, and he's like, "Well, we're just going to wait and see. We'll just wait and see." Like he wasn't even worried about it. Yep. And I thought that's really odd that he would act that way. And then what? He sweeps. He gets all these states. It's like something's wrong here. And the other thing I wanted to say is Bernie. To me, I don't think he did anything wrong. But what was funny? He was the only one that was talking about beating Trump. It seemed like everybody else was concerned about beating Bernie. I was seeing these stupid people like that. I can't stand that James Carville. He was screaming, I don't want a communist. I don't want a socialist. And I thought, look at all these people coming at Bernie. In a way, when he dropped out, I felt really bad, but then I thought, man, how much of this shit can he take anymore? People going at him continuously. But like I say, I think that this endorsement of Biden, I don't really understand it. It bothers me, but in a way, I wonder if they know more than we do, and maybe the polls are already showing that Biden's going to lose. So they got to get, they want to get Bernie in there to get this thing going. I don't know.
Wow.
But anyway.
Yeah.
You know what, Tim? You've had some great callers. I'm sitting here listening, and I can't hardly remember what I was going to say. So it's been a great show, like always.
Yeah.
You know,
That's because of you
and
guys.
thanks for letting me speak my mind.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Great show because of you guys, man. Goodness gracious, guys. It's like there's no way. There's no way. Guys, Jesus Christ. We were just going to go to midnight. Oh. All right, wow, man. Goodness gracious. I don't know if we can do this. This is great. 772 77. That number's gone. Lord have mercy. This is serious. Man, guys, I need more. I need help. If you saw how many callers we got sitting right now, there is no way. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. Jesus. Three numbers 313 240. 240, you're live. How you doing?
Hey Tim, it's Nestor.
What's up, Nestor? What's on your mind, man?
Hey man, trying to survive this crazy world, dude. Yeah, man. I saw a little bit of the live stream with Bernie, and I just couldn't watch anymore, man. It was like watching a kidnapped victim with a gun to their head, having to say things that they don't want to say. You know, his face was red, dude. Like it literally, like I could see the pain, man. It was like if Castro had lost his revolution and was forced to admit, you know, defeat. So it was fucking tough, man. I just couldn't watch anymore, man. And I've been hearing on RT that Biden might be thinking about picking Michelle Obama because they're saying that that might be his only winning way against Trump, to actually have an Obama as a VP. I don't know if you've been hearing that through the circles. But I mean, I've been thinking about it. Even though Obama was, for the people that know, he was definitely maybe as bad as Bush. You know, he completely destroyed one country, making it into a slave country in Libya. Started the war in Syria, and you know, but people don't know any of this stuff, man. And I know for a fact if Biden actually picked Michelle Obama as his VP, he probably would be able to beat Trump. But then that wouldn't change any of the trajectory that this country is taking us to, man. Because a lot of people don't even have an idea of the foreign policy that's going on with this country. They have no idea. And Biden has said, during the debates, he repeatedly said that he would do the same exact thing that has been going on with the foreign policy. He's been giving that rhetoric about attacking Venezuela. And like I told you last call, they already have Southern Command, which is the military already mobilized in Colombia, already mobilized all the way, Central America. We have carriers, we got destroyers down there already, dude. And Biden, he's not going to change that. And I don't know what this country, I don't know what future this country has the moment it confronts Vietnam 2.0. I don't know what the left movement is going to have once this country is in war mode. And on top of that, during a pandemic, like that should tell you how much this country cares about its citizens, dude. They're willing to start a war. Trump's willing to get the country open and get more people infected. They're just willing to. It's like 1918 all over again when the World War One was happening. They didn't care that there was a flu killing millions of U.S. citizens. They still went on with that war. They were still going on World War One. And the reason they call it the Spanish flu is because Spain was the only country, sounding the alarm and telling everyone we should stop killing each other and deal with this. And what happened to Spain a few years later? They had a civil war, and because a lot of European countries supported the fascist dictator Franco, and they completely have been a destroyed country ever since. So, it's just a lot. It's just crazy, and I'm just hoping. I was hoping that before Bernie made that announcement of supporting Biden, that he would stay and wait and see what happens. And anything could have happened. Everything could have changed, and he didn't wait. It was a devastating blow to have him, do this early. I think it probably hurt Biden's chances of having anybody in the Bernie camp vote for him, because it looked like if a terrorist had kidnapped Bernie and was forcing him to say things that we all could see that it just didn't feel natural at all.
Right. Yes, I do, my friend. Bad,
But
brother.
like I said,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's all about. I like the fact that a lot of callers have hope, man. Without hope, we are definitely in trouble. But we really have to think about mobilizing, like you said, MLK times 1,000, man. We need to really start doing a lot of things that we won't be comfortable as people that have to work and live, day by day, have to make ends meet. We're really going to have to put that sacrifice in to really change this direction that we're heading to.
My brother. Well, look, Nestor, thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. You're on point, my friend. And you're right. That's where I think we're getting to that point where it's like going to be put up or shut up, because either that or just go watch Netflix, yo, because this ain't going to change on its own. Because part of the criticism on Bernie is he didn't have enough establishment hacks in his campaign. When people get that criticism, they don't realize that was part of it. Yeah, they wanted him to have his camp look more like Hillary Clinton's camp, or more like Joe Biden's camp. Well, if you get that, then you end up with a Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton, don't you? So, anyway, 773, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello? 773. Yes, how you doing?
Hey, James, I'm fine, thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, Tim, thank you so much for picking up my call. My name is Ken, and I'm calling from Chicago. And I want to appreciate what you're doing. You're doing a great job. And I just want to make I hope you can hear me very well, right?
You're all good. Yes, Ken. Go right ahead, Ken.
All right. So I know I watched the video of Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say Bernie is a very good guy. He's done too much for us. I started being a fan of Bernie the first day I got to know Bernie. The first day I knew about him, I've been a fan of him because of what he has done for us. He's done so much. There's nothing. He's a nice guy, and that's who he is. We're not going to change him. The truth is that we all have the right to vote for who we get to vote for. Right now that Bernie has dropped out, he's not a cult leader. I tell people, if he was a cult leader, it's only a cult leader that will tell you, hey, you all need to vote for this, and you're going to do it. But that's the truth. Now, there's something else I want to talk about. What happened to Bernie? We all know that Bernie was the only man, that was the man with the movement. He was the one that had the power, the movement, and the people on ground. What happened to Bernie was a conspiracy by the rich guys. That's the truth. It was a big conspiracy. They knew that Bernie was on the verge of winning.
Yep.
If they did not pull that move before the Super Tuesday, it would have been over for them. It would have been over. So in as much as it hurts so much what happened, and I also want to say the Bernie bros, we don't have to pretend. If the Biden bros, sorry, if Bernie was the winner, don't deceive yourself. The truth is that all the Biden bros were not going to vote for him. They weren't going to fall in line. So there's no way they're going to tell us, hey, you all need to fall in line. It's not going to happen. There's so many Biden people that said even before now that they're not going to vote for, they can never vote for Bernie. So why are they telling people you must vote for Bernie, for Biden? And one more thing I would like to talk about, Tim. Biden got so much black votes. I'm originally from Nigeria. I'm an African, full one. So I know what it is in Africa when votes are being rigged. And I also want to talk about something about the black person. We all voted against our will. So many black people. It is time when we're going to stop listening to people like, what's it called? The senator. They can't just tell us who to vote for. We've been suffering because the rich guys, they get money from the politicians and they tell us who to vote for. And we just fall in line. There's so many of us who don't have health care. But we voted against the man who was going to give us that. Just because somebody told us, hey, this is the man you guys need to vote for. I know Biden and Biden knows us. I don't know Biden. He doesn't know me. He doesn't fight for me. He doesn't speak for me.
That's right.
So why should I vote for him? I was listening to, there was a program, I think it was Kyle's program one time. There's a progressive who's running against the former DNC person, the other woman in I think Arizona or California. He said the problem she's having, she's a white woman. She said the problem she's having is that the church people, the pastors in the black churches, they get donations from these Democrats who do nothing. They get donations from, and they tell the church, you all need to vote for this person. Without nothing, they don't even care about what this person is doing for the community. All they need is that just give them donation, just give the pastor donation. And he's going to tell the congregation to vote for you. And she doesn't have the money, and she doesn't want to do that. So how do we support progressives like that? And also the mentality of the black man needs to change. It is true. We need to start taking decisions for ourselves. We don't need to fall in line. We don't need people to tell us who to vote for. We need to set out what do we want. What exactly do we want? Who is pushing our interests? Who's working on issues that affect us? There's so many people who doesn't have, so many people, they don't have health care. They don't even make they don't even make $10 an hour. But they'll be saying, oh, Bernie, I can't vote for Bernie. He is a socialist. What do you know about socialists? What do you know about socialism? Because, you don't know nothing about it, but you just say because you watch TV and they tell you, oh, Bernie is a socialist. What do you know? People just be throwing words around. It is very sad, to see what is happening. And I just think we need to re-educate ourselves as a black man, because whether we believe it or not, we are the reason Biden got that much vote. They gave him so much votes. So we need to go back to the drawing board and see how we need to start voting for our interests and not for the interests of the big politicians. Again, I want to say thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the work you're doing. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time.
You're welcome,
Thank
Ken.
you.
Thank you, Ken, for the phone call, brother. I appreciate you calling up, man. I want to disagree with you, but I can't because it's the truth. We need to vote our best interests. And I'm just focusing on us right now. Everybody needs to vote their best interest. And that would mean all people who are not rich would be voting basically the same interest, and we get better candidates. We get better presidents, better leadership, right? That's the goal, right? That's the goal. 772, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, Tim?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Never better. Hey, listen. All you progressives, lick your wounds and understand that where you are locally is where you can make the most difference. City council, you can really make some changes. You can really make your life better. Nationally, you know what? That shit's kind of done. Bernie's out. What are you going to do? Work locally. You hear me? Hello?
Who is this? Who the hell are you talking to, man? What's wrong with this guy? What is wrong with people? You don't know me, and you don't know anybody you're talking to. This guy think he is. What is wrong, man? Do we got any home training? The hell is wrong with people? 703. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey. Tim, is this me here?
Yeah, yes it is. How you doing, 703?
I'm doing all right, Tim. I'm new to the show. A friend of mine told me y'all were taking calls and said that y'all might like to hear what I have to say.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to start off by saying I had foot surgery about a month before we even labeled coronavirus as a pandemic. Yeah. I've had nothing but free time sitting at home, resting and recovering to read up and learn as much as I can. I'm going to give you guys the details of what I understand the situation is. I'm going to start back in 2008 when the economic crisis happened and how bad the United States Postal Service was hit. It has been struggling since then to recover. The GOP has known this and has been slowly capitalizing behind closed doors to prepare for what they are doing now, which is to allow the USPS to go bankrupt. It is happening much sooner than they probably planned because of the virus and what it's doing to the economy. But it is very apparent what they did with Wisconsin. That is a test drive of them trying to prevent mail-in ballots because they are trying to disenfranchise them as fraudulent, suspectable, even though Trump has openly admitted in a tweet that it's good for people who are disabled or elderly, but bad for Republicans. So knowing this, it has become very apparent through their own actions and words that they are trying to prevent the democratic process from even occurring. Assuming we can get to the main election and are able to vote, I think it's pertinent we ask ourselves when we get there, as supporters of Bernie, a very important question. Do we have the numbers to make sure we don't repeat 2016? Because while Biden is a shit choice, a terrible fucking human being, just like Trump, he's a sure sight better, specifically because he doesn't have the same judicial hirings that Trump has made that he is now using to defend himself as he continues to make illegal action after illegal action after illegal action to slowly strip away American liberties. The ones that actually matter. I'm not talking about the gung-ho, make America great again liberties. I'm talking about the real liberties, the right to vote, the right to speak freely. That's what they're aiming for. They saw Russia, they saw Korea, they idolized it at the same time they criticized it, so no one knew that's what they were doing. And now we are on that precipice. We are right there at that point. And we got to make sure that no matter what, even if it means sucking up our gut and impeaching Biden immediately after we elect him, we got to ask ourselves, is it worth the risk of hoping everyone pulls through for Bernie enough so that we win to allow Trump to continue to tear apart what we're trying to build? And that's my thoughts. And sorry for coming off strong if I did there.
No, you're good, man. Thank you for your comment, man. I appreciate you calling up. You know, man, these Democrats been voting for those same justices right along for Trump. You know that, right? I do hear your point. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Hasn't the Democratic Party been helping Trump get those appointments? I know that one it didn't. I know about the one in Wisconsin that you're referring to that was foiled, which is great. which is great. I tweeted that out, by the way, because, yeah. John Cusack, he sent out a tweet about it. I didn't know that they tried to push that thing through and it didn't work, Johnson. But I hear your point, my friend. There's a lot going on, a lot to be concerned with. We don't want to be too focused on any one issue that we forget some of the other factors that we need to consider. 224.
$20, and he can rent it for the whole day. So that's pretty much it. So I'll send all the information to you, and then he can kind of weigh it out of what he wants.
I'll try to come back 224. No, I haven't. She hasn't spoken yet. Oh, yes, she has. That's why she's making other phone calls. My bad. 937. You're live, 937. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, partner. What's on your mind tonight?
So, well, name's Ben. You may not remember, but last time I called, it was a while ago. As I recall, Scalia had died, and Trump was talking about drain the swamp. That's how long it's been. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on like how no movement should be so small as to be negated because of one person dropping out, and no one person that should have so much power that they can carry literally all of basically carry the whole thing. I think that like we all have like our like what's your like Bernie story basically. Like I remember for me, I was basically like watching CNN, and Wolf Blitzer like had him on, and like this guy came on with a thick accent, and he was talking about how he needs to make college free, and I was actually like making bacon at the time, and I was just like, okay, make it. But my thought was, how are you going to pay for it? And Wolf Blitzer basically said like the exact same thing, and he was like, a tax on Wall Street speculation. And I like burnt myself. I'm like, this mother, like who, how do you find this guy? And at the time I wasn't registered. But I was like, you know what? If he were to like actually like go through with it, I think I actually might. And he did. And, for me, like, I think Jon Stewart had like a special or a brief segment on it when Jon Stewart was still around.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the difference between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. And he said, basically at the end, how like, he has a set of consistent principles that he's run on his entire political life. And she was going to like crush him. And I don't know what it was, but there was like something like the back of my mind that like snapped. It was like a justice thing, where I was like, that's not what should happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't describe it. It was like almost ephemeral. It was like, like our friends across the pond would say, like, that's when the penny dropped, I guess. And I was just like, no, like, that's not, we shouldn't stand for that. And I also liked how he was talking about, like, campaign finance and things like that. Like, I am a firm believer in free speech, and I don't think that money should equal free speech, because if you have more money, that means your voice can literally speak louder than other people's, and that's not what I don't think the First Amendment is supposed to do that. I think we're all supposed to have a voice. And to touch on that, I know some people are kind of like, like, man, I don't know, like, I can't vote for the lesser of two evils. Well, you really don't have to. Like, you don't have to accept the two-party, like, that is, like, in my opinion, the propaganda that, like, oligarchs use to stay in power. Because you notice how, like, they only care about independence right when it gets to that moment, right? They only care about young folks or black folks only when it gets to that moment. But every other time they don't care. And, you know, votes aren't counted where it's like, if you don't vote for candidate X, then candidate Y gets an extra vote. No, then you didn't vote for either of them. Like, it's not logical to think that way. Like mathematically, it's not logical like that. But, you know, people buy into that. And, you know, like, I'm not sure if you saw Brianna Joy Gray. You know, she said that she doesn't endorse Joe Biden.
Right.
And, you know, like, I was saying, like, that's her prerogative. Like, Bernie, you know, he can make that endorsement. But she doesn't have to. And, you know, heck, I'm not sure if she'd be old enough, but if she wanted to run, she can. But at the same time, like, I want people to think, like, if people, like, thought about political parties or candidates the way that we think about, like, shoes or, like, you know, like what kind of cereal you want to eat or whatever, like, we'd have a completely different electorate because you wouldn't be tied just to one party. Like, you wouldn't, or just, you know, like, it'd be all about, like, the policy and the ideals. And when it comes to politics, I'm very much a consequentialist because I'm like, that ultimately affects people's lives. Like, look at this coronavirus thing, and, you know, without going too long, like, you know, Joe Biden talking about, like, well, if Medicare for All came out or whatever, like, I still wouldn't back it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, he's not even, I don't think he even has the capacity, like, you know, let them eat cake. You know, that's how I view it. I'm like, I really don't think he can process what it's like to be just like an average person, like, at this point in his life. So,
yeah.
You know, if he's not representing you, then he's not representing you.
That's right, Ben. Look, Ben,
So
I got to leave it there, Ben, but I appreciate the phone call, my friend. We're getting down to crunch time, guys. Yeah, I think that Biden has passed it, and frankly, I don't think he can be held accountable for half the stuff he says or doesn't say. So that's scary, but that's how I feel, man. 917. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Kennedy from Brooklyn. How's it been?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. It's great to hear you. So I'm utterly disappointed that Bernie endorsed Biden, of course. I think the one thing that Bernie forgot is he's got a movement, and he knew he's got people behind him, but he forgot that we are powerful, and we could have helped him to use us as leverage. Use us as leverage to push his agenda. I mean, right now we are doing Trump's doing everything essentially that Bernie's been talking about. If Bernie and Biden were having that conversation today, I really wish Bernie had just said, "So, Joe, what are you going to do?" Because when he was going over his stupid 3 points that were ridiculous, I'm sorry, he should have said, "You know, I have a plan," and just jumped right in and said, "Hey, are we going to do what I'm talking about? Because Trump's doing it." It's disappointing. As far as, I mean, this is a little bit related, but I think part of the reason why Bernie dropped out, and because I like the guy, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, is because I think he didn't want people to go out and go into the primary and, potentially get corona. I think he just said, okay, well, people are going to keep going out to these rigged machines, so I might as well just drop out now. Also, I do have a thought that the way things are going, I hate to say it, but whoever's holding the bag is going to be the one who gets, the label for being the reason everything tanks. So if Trump's holding the bag, it's going to be Trump. If Biden's the nominee, or God forbid, the president, he's going to be the one holding the bag with this whole coronavirus, because it is not going well. I'm in New York, and one of my roommate, he's actually a school teacher, and 50 school teachers around the New York City area are dead. They're gone, and it's because of the coronavirus. I think the stimulus package was foolish. I think Bernie should never have signed on to that, but he got a little too friendly with the establishment. I don't trust Jeff Weaver. I think he's been a lying two-face the whole time. And the reason why I'm saying is, I think that if there's, say, 350 million Americans, even if the test costs $100, it could have cost us a hell of a lot less to get everybody tested and to have everybody treated than it is to spend trillions on a stimulus package, where they could have had all of the money put in towards testing and had everybody in waves being tested. That might have helped to slow the spread of this thing. But instead of using the money intelligently, they put the money towards the stimulus, which is unfortunately going massively to corporations. It's not hitting the people. I haven't gotten a check. Did you get a check, Tim? Because, aside from Patreon, I don't know if either one of us is getting any money from Uncle Sam, but the corporations are. So, yeah, I'm just disappointed that Bernie didn't use the leverage that he had with all of us to, push the party and to have, get some concessions before you just, give in and capitulate. But, maybe there's a master plan. Maybe people can still write him in. But, yeah, it's just disappointing. After all of these years of supporting Bernie, for him to just sort of endorse Biden. Jesus, I can't. But, Tim, I love you. I'm so happy to hear your voice. It's nice to be back. I've been, busy trying to stay alive here in New York. I've been sequestered, but yeah, I tried to call last week on Freedom Friday, and I was on until like 2. Well, you were on until 2, but then the phone hung up, and I was like, no. But thanks for having me tonight, and thanks for your terrific work. Keep it up, and we really appreciate you. So thanks for using your voice and giving us a voice. Thanks a lot, Tim.
Hey, Kennedy, you're welcome, man. Thank you for calling up, man. Sorry that happened to you, man. It's just we're getting like more phone calls and it's just crazy. 352. You're next. How you doing? What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim.
Hey.
You know whose fault this is? You know whose fault this is that Bernie lost, right? It's your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you.
There you go,
It's
man.
your fault, Tim.
You're
you
right.
did not light yourself on fire when you had a show that night, and people would have tuned in around the world if they saw Tim Black light himself on fire in the studio. Then we would have been voting for Bernie. So it's your fault, Tim.
You're right, man.
If you just,
yeah,
you just did not do enough, Tim. You did not do enough. If you really cared about Bernie, you would have poured gasoline on yourself that night, and you would have friggin' lit yourself on fire, and you would have burned for the betterment of mankind. So it's your fault, Tim.
It is, man.
You did not light yourself on fire.
I accept
All
the
right?
blame, brother. I accept it. You're right.
All right? I mean, it's getting old, Tim. It's getting old. Well, listen, you follow the money. I mean, politics, if people just pick up the history books, if they think that this is new in politics, we're doing better in this country still politically than we've ever done in the history of this country. There were times when people just used to go into the back dark rooms with their cigars and martinis and cut deals about people's lives. All right? So when this country says that this is all so terrible, like this is the worst times, grow up, pick up a history book, and read about Tammany Hall. Read about the friggin', the history of this country and politics with all this shit that's gone on in the history of politics. Are you kidding me? It's like a lot of young people don't read history anymore. I don't know if they're on their cell phones all the time and they just get all their facts from Google. I haven't seen a kid get on a bus. I get on the bus. I live right next to the University of Florida. I get on the bus and I go by the University of Florida. I got a bunch of college kids on there and they're all talking on their cell phones. I said, "Where's the books?" Like, we don't do books no more. I said, "How do you learn?" They says, "Well, we just do everything online." I says, "Really?" I says, "So you just accept what people put online and that's it? You guys don't go to, you know what a card catalog is?" They're like, "A card catalog? What the hell is that?" They don't even know what the hell a library is. Are you freaking kidding me? No. I mean, people are just being shoveled this garbage on the internet and they just soak it in. Now, like anything else, just like when you used to go the old days to the library, you had to decipher. There were some books in there that were bullshit, and you had books in there that were, that taught you to. You had to be the judge of what books were worth reading and what books were not worth reading. So same thing today. I guess it's just a different media. I think it's a little scary when people don't have to print it in a book to where it's a hard copy. It's like a person could write something on the internet today, and tomorrow they could change a few words, and they could change a few words, and they could edit their story as they go along. Once you wrote it in a book years ago, that was it. You better make sure you wrote the right thing, because there ain't no writing another book. It costs too much money. So today people just accept whatever the hell they get on the internet. And we're fast food. We want everything right this second. And you know what? There's some good things about immediacy. Like, I mean, a doctor has to get on, a surgeon has to get on the friggin' on the internet and tell another surgeon halfway around the world how to do a surgery because he's got something that he doesn't know how to do. That's a beautiful thing. But for somebody to get their news all the time from the media and then not be able to just say, well, I like this guy, I like this personality. You know, it's getting old. People just don't want to do the work. They want so much. They want it to be handed to them. And I think they wanted this election to be handed to them. They said, go, Bernie, go, Bernie, go. You do it, old man. You do it. I know you said it's not me, it's us, but really, Bernie, it's you. It's you, Bernie. You do all the freaking work. We're just hoping that you win. It's like they're like rooting for like a quarterback on a football team, and if the quarterback doesn't do good, well, they just put in a new quarterback. That guy's out. This is politics. It's the most powerful group of people on the planet that Bernie was going against. I mean, you've got people that Bernie's going against that would have no problem putting a bullet in the back of people's head. We've seen it with Kennedy. You think that Kennedy got shot by listen, I mean, I read enough about that. I mean, it didn't happen in Dallas where Lyndon B. Johnson just happened to own the friggin' Texas by accident, and all the people just ran him to the hospital, put him on a plane 2 minutes later, and flew him back to D.C. It didn't happen. I mean, it didn't happen in friggin' Oshkosh, friggin' Wisconsin. It happened. I mean, there's too many things that went wrong there, but they just showed you with Kennedy. The scary part was that the people in power will actually. That's how far they'll go. Now they don't want to do it again if they don't have to. Now they could just use the corporate media to be their hitman. They don't have to actually put a bullet in. They just use the corporate media as their hitman now. The corporate media is a hitman for the powerful people. So whatever that the powers to be want to friggin' knock someone down, they just got to get to the corporate media and say, just bash this guy, just bash this guy. And that's what they did. I mean, Bernie was up against Goliath. David was up against one Goliath in the Bible. Bernie was up against 100 Goliaths. He's told you from the beginning, I'm not going to take any of their money. They all told him, Bernie, that's never going to happen. You got to take PAC money. You got to take big people's money, or you're never going to stand a chance in this freaking political system. And Bernie says, well, I want to try it. What do I got to lose? I got nothing to begin with. I'm just a small town senator from Vermont. But let me give it a shot. And he did something miraculous. Yep. He did something miraculous. He scared the hell out of the people with big money. Yep. And they couldn't believe how close he was getting to friggin' getting into power. Yep. And what did they do? They ambushed him. When you saw 20 people on a stage, I said, I've never seen 20 people on a Democratic stage debate before, and especially half of them I never even heard of before. That was set up from the beginning because they knew that at one time they could just call it in. If Bernie started running away with the election, which he did with Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada, we'll just call it and tell the other guys drop out and endorse Biden. We're friggin' that was a hit and an ambush. Like, I mean, come on, we know that, right? I mean, that was a hit and ambush that Bernie could not control. And when he got to Wisconsin,
I gotta leave it there, man. I gotta leave it there. But I love it. I love it. I feel the same way. Ambush. And look, what you said about the media is so on point. They don't want to kill you in the street, they just kill your reputation. To put two in your reputation. Right? They'll kill you in the papers. See you in the funny papers. A little weird to start off the story with burning a black guy in the studio, though. I don't know about that part. I don't think my wife liked that part. I think she's going to talk to me after the show about the caller that said something about, they used to burn black people. That's where the term barbecue came from. But other than that part, good call, Johnson. I know what you meant. 608. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, am I on the air?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. I'm from Wisconsin, and my name's Cassandra. And
are you okay, Cassandra?
I will be brief.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay. Did you go out and vote?
I did. That's what I wanted to talk about. I actually went out to vote because I didn't have time to do the mail-in ballot. And I just wanted to let your callers know that I know some of you all may be disappointed that Sanders endorsed Biden, but the win in Wisconsin really does change a lot. It really does change everything because Wisconsin may be out of reach for Trump unless there is significant voter suppression by the Republican Party. Just so you know, in Waukesha County, and that's considered one of the red counties here in Wisconsin, that Supreme Court seat, voting turnout for the Democrats, it rose from 32% up to 38%.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, so people are highly motivated here in Wisconsin, which is one of the swing states. And that gets me to my point. I think it's time to focus on the VP because I am hearing names out there that it will be just a disaster. Kamala Harris is on the short list, Amy Klobuchar, and there's someone who I like, and I need to do a little bit more research on her, and that's Val Demings of Florida. I know she was an ex-police chief, but I out of all of the ones I'm hearing about, I think Val Demings and Tammy, the senator from Illinois, Tammy Duckworth, she's a W amputee veteran. Mm-hmm. Those two, I believe, would be the best people to for Biden on this ticket. They're both very articulate. They're charismatic. They can bring in and motivate a new group of people. So I'll go off air and listen to what you have to say.
Wow.
You have a good night.
Thank you, Cassandra, for the phone call and the update on Wisconsin. Folks, maybe we should check out Val Demings. Haven't heard of her before. That'd be interesting. And then Tammy Duckworth. Tammy, of course, I've seen her. I've heard her talk a couple of times. She's pretty popular. I don't know her politics, Johnson. So anyone who does, please illuminate the rest of us. 209. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, always not ready for these things when I get called on. Hey, yeah, I mean, you had a lot of interesting calls tonight. Just going to try to keep it short. Geez, well, how do I start? Originally I was, a Tulsi supporter,
Okay.
And then I kind of saw the writing on the wall that, she wasn't going to go no further. So, I supported Bernie, I donated to his campaign like I had to Tulsi's. And then I volunteered a little bit canvassing. And anyhow, the main reason I volunteered for it is because Medicare for all and ending the wars, and I think Kyle Kalinske had a good point. He had a show the other day where it's like, have three main things that we could get behind, like Medicare for all. He said UBI. I'm not sure about that. I mean, but I'm not that educated in this stuff anyhow, but I don't know, I was just trying to see it like walking on the glass floor, trying to bring in other people, even people that are maybe moderate or conservative or whatever, you know what I mean? Just as I always get nervous when I call it. Especially when my second time, I get so nervous, trying to put my thoughts together. Don't really make too much sense, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wish there was a way that we could because I see we have a lot more in common than we think as far as you look at the Yankees supporters, the Tulsi and Bernie supporters. You know, like I wish there was a way to like all of us that come more together on things. You know, like instead of just kind of like insulting each other. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it. So I was so nervous, I can't really make that clear of a point. But oh yeah, by the way, like Dave Stone Mountain, that guy's comment. Oh man, I totally identified with that. You know, because when I saw what Trump, you know, his little team he's picking for the comeback with Ivanka and her husband and whatnot, I'm just like, oh my god, it's like fucking scary as hell. You know what I mean? And like not just that, but like. I just like 4 years of Trump where he don't even need his own people to get back in office. You know, like, you know, it's like when the second term Obama, like, you know, he kind of let loose a little bit. Like, imagine Trump on the second term. And but the thing is, yeah, Biden. I'm like, I don't want Biden either. But it's just, I don't know, especially with the rape allegation. You know what I mean? It's like kind of, I don't know. It's like we're in a bad spot. Yeah, that's it. But thank you.
All right. Thank you, my friend, for calling up, man. I appreciate it. You did all right, man. It's so good. It's all good. Show's not going anywhere, man. You just keep going, and just before you know it, man, you'll be smooth like butter. But good point, though. I mean, I didn't see this thing with Ivanka and Jared. I saw it trending. I did see the press conference with this woman named someone from CBS, a reporter by the name of Reed. And she asked a basic question like, Trump, what were you doing against the virus in February? And Trump got hostile as hell. It was a valid question. He just lost it and started saying that she works for a horrible news organization and she's a propagandist. And she was just asking, what'd you do in February against the virus? Had her did the rights. She had him did the rights. He got belligerent. But yeah, that's Trump for you. 509. Hey, 509, you live?
Hey, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Hey, Tim, I got to make an apology, a couple of confessions, and a point, and then I'll get off the air. You know, first of all, the apology. I gave Jimmy Dore money. I don't have any to give you, man. So I'm stealing your content, and I apologize. But I'm going to take care of you if shit ever, you know, for not living in Mad Max 4. I'll catch up to you, man. I will. Thank you. I get quality content and more importantly humor from you, man, and laughter right now. That's some powerful stuff. I'm tired of people talking about who Joe Biden's going to pick for VP. Joe Biden ain't picking nothing. He don't remember what kind of pudding he had at lunch. Who is Goldman Sachs going to put in as our VP? That's who we need to look at. And the other thing, man, is if I hear one more person talk crap about Bernie, I'm going to put hands on him, man. I'm done with that. The man was fighting for me before I knew who he was. Half of these people talking smack about him right now on Twitter, he's been fighting for them before they were born. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. When I tell people I voted for Obama twice, it's a confession, man. You know, I mean, I'm not doing it for praise. It's like I messed up. I make stupid decisions. He was fighting for me when I was rallying behind Bill Clinton. I trust the man, and we don't know. You know, everybody's talking about the Postal Service going out now. Nobody's talking about the 2006 Bush PAEA, the Postal Accountability, I forget whatever act. They play the long game, man. We got to play the long game. The same people that told me we can't have Medicare for all, the same people we can't have student debt relief, free higher education, and all these basic necessities we want, they're the same people that were telling me I'd never get weed legalized and the gay people can never get married, man. It's the same people telling us that we can't, and we listen to them. We got to stop listening to them, man. And the last point I want to make is I owe everybody an apology for wasting my vote, man. In 2016, I was a Bernie Sanders delegate in Washington State here, and I wrote in Bernie Sanders, but on my ballot. I wasted that vote, man. I should have voted green, and I'm just going to end it with telling you my logic and reason for going green is we got nowhere else to go, and a protest vote, not voting or writing in Bernie Sanders, that's an FU to the Democratic Party that they're going to forget about in 2024. But we can leave them an FU they're going to remember at every debate going forward, every presidential debate, when there's a third party on that stage. All of those establishment Democrats are going to look over 20 years from now and say that goddamn Bernie Sanders. And we can do that to them if we want to. I've checked out Howie. I don't know much. I'm new to the Green Party. I'll give it to Howie this time. Next time I'll get more involved, educate myself more, and pick the best candidate. But God damn it, get off Bernie, man. The dude has been fighting for you since before you knew who he was. Half of these kids running around that came to the Bernie rallies to buy the cool swag and didn't pay attention to the policy, they're the ones stabbing him in the back right now because they thought it was going to be a one-shot deal, man. It's incremental. We don't have to accept it, but we got to keep fighting for it, man. If we got AOC, man. We got Tlaib. We've got these incredible, beautiful people out there fighting for us, man. And we can't turn our backs on them and stab them the first time they hit a hiccup. They're human. They're human beings. Bernie Sanders might make a few mistakes, man. He's human, but he knows more about what's going on. He was fighting that PAEA before. I didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't find out about that until 2012 in Obama's term. I didn't know anything about that. They play the long game, man. We got to do it too. We can win. We will win. It's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. We will eventually, if we don't kill ourselves off in a nuclear bomb or keep eating bats, whatever, mankind, we can do this. People can grow. I live in Matt Shea's district over here in Washington State, man. We got a straight up white nationalist POS. I've been punching Nazis over here since before it was cool. And the people you talk about, everybody's like, oh yeah, what a piece of crap, And then, well, who did you vote for? No, I didn't vote. It's going to have to get a lot worse before it gets better, or we can wake up now. But get off the backs of the guys that are out there fighting for you right now, man. There's people I don't even know out there fighting for me. So I owe them back when I see that opportunity arise.
Well, I got to leave it there, my brother. I got to leave it there, man. But I love your voice, man. I love your message, right, man. Thank you so much for your time. And you're really on point, man. I see why you were a delegate for the Bernie campaign, man. Keep spitting that truth, brother. Great, man. Amazing. 401. You're live, 401. What's your name? What's your comment?
401. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tim? How you doing?
I'm good, partner.
It's been a while since I called, but I'm glad to see that you're doing, like an emergency kind of meetup. I think everyone kind of needs it, It's definitely an unsettling situation. I really wasn't expecting Bernie to come out and fully endorse Joe. I don't want to hold everybody up too long. Last time I called in, I went on a huge tirade. I'm going to try and keep it simple. Some people on Twitter have been bringing up a pretty good point about, Bernie's position in this, in the past month. Everyone has brought up a lot of good points, regarding, the state of this campaign and the state of where we're at now, and I think it's important to realize that, it took multiple candidates. It took like 6 or 7 establishment candidates and millions and millions and millions of dollars and just endless smearing of this man, a populist left-wing candidate who actually cares about people. It took the establishment a shit ton of money and a shit ton of time just to stop him, and I don't even think they really stopped him at this point. The situation has become so dire now that even though Bernie has suspended the campaign and he's endorsed Biden, people I think are just so livid and so upset. I just don't think that there's no coming back from this. I don't think the Democratic Party, the centrist corporate establishment they don't understand that they're kind of fucked. People are really upset, man. I'm lucky to be employed currently, and when I go to work, I just see these people who who are generally apolitical, they're just so upset. They're concerned. Like they're afraid they're going to lose their job. They're afraid how they're going to pay their bills. And I think I went a little bit off topic, but to keep the long story short, I think Bernie's endorsement of Joe wasn't something that he wanted to do. I don't think he really wanted to do it. I think he did it because he saw that the Democratic establishment was going to hold the American public hostage in these primaries. It took Joe Biden 2 or 3 days to come out and publicly disavow the idea of still holding the primaries during this pandemic. It was 2 days before the Wisconsin primary. He was telling people, "Yeah, it's okay, go out and vote." Yet the CDC was saying, "No, don't do that. It's not safe." And then Barack Obama comes out a couple days later, lo and behold, we shouldn't be holding primaries right now. It's a bad idea. And just the timing of the Tara Reid story.
Thank you for
coming out and
using
everything
Blog
else.
Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, folks, thank you for calling up to the show tonight. It was I only expected to go to midnight. It is almost 1. If you didn't get through tonight, you know what I can do? Hold on, guys. I still got the callers in the queue. Let's do this. Let me write down who's in the queue. And what we can do is tomorrow, you'll be the first up. If you call in first, I'll look for you first. Now, I can do this because we're going back to back. I can't say I'll do this all the time, but when we have a special show and the very next day we have another show, I don't see why I can't give this a try. I will do my best tomorrow to look for these callers who are in the queue. They don't know it because the phone's cut off. So I can't even tell them. What a dilemma. What a dilemma. Well, maybe they're watching the show, okay? So if you're watching the show and you are 401 or 315 or 407 or 562 or 310 or 678 or 708 or 765, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You 8 phone callers will be my first up. I think we should try it. Because tomorrow is the scheduled phone day. There are people who give me grief and they say stuff and I let it get to me sometimes, gets me pissed off. But we do this type of thing, right? We know who we are. And I think I need to take a lesson from like Bernie and say, I know he catches way more grief than I do, right? And so I'm the type of person, who will go to my wife at like 9:30 and say, you know what, I think I should open phone lines tonight. Because I think people got stuff they want to say. And then say, well, we got phone lines tomorrow. So I don't want to cancel that because that wouldn't be fair to people who won't know that we have phone lines today. So we'll just do phone lines both days. And that's going to mean a very long day. I don't get paid by the hour. So, but it's what the community needs. It's what I think people need to get this stuff out their system and that to talk to people that understand and to listen to other people talk who might have a good point. So they can call us what they want to call us, just don't call us late for dinner type of thing. And at the end of the day, we show who we are by what we do. So thank you everybody who called up tonight. I appreciate you. We did the best we could do. I got as many calls in as possible. And tomorrow, this will be right here on my desk, and we'll make a go with that. Man, so many good calls. I'm going to go check the comments section. which I'm sure will give me stuff to talk about. I'm sure you guys give me stuff to talk about over here, so I'll just wait to talk about here. Gold Storm. First time I managed to pop in for a stream. Thanks for doing what you do. I loved your interview with Nina. Thank you, Gold Storm. Nina Turner is one of my favorite people. Mark. Lawrence O'Donnell said, you don't give away your vote. Bernie should have threatened being a third-party spoiler to get concessions. Yeah, the concessions, I don't even know what Biden's like. I look at minimum wage. I'm supportive of it, which means nothing, Johnson. So Bernie should get more out of Biden. Passports apps on hold for delinquent student debt. What? Passport apps on hold for what? Are you saying people can't go home because of the student debt? To all those in states who haven't checked or haven't voted yet, I think it's okay to chastise those of us who brought home the early wins and back off. Tina, thanks for joining, Tina. Tina MG, I remember you. That MG, something's ringing a bell. Jork's song, It's Oh So Quiet. Quite ironic, though. Right now. Sheldon Hughes, great caller. I don't know which one, but we had some great callers. Was it Sheldon? Debate me. I think the Hill is secretly trying to get Trump to win by bashing Biden and telling people not to vote for him. Crystal Ball's crushing the narrative of Biden needs to earn her vote. Otherwise, she's not going to vote. You heard what I said, right? I don't want to put her in there, but I know the person that works. I know the person that owns the Hill. He don't want Biden. I know that for sure. For sure. Finkelstein. Look up Finkelstein. Look up CEO of the Hill. Look him up. Do a little digging. The gloves are off, Johnson. The gloves are off. They treated me like a leper because I went up against their guy. Well, now we just take a look. We see what's up. I'm telling you, I got a bad feeling, guys. That guy Stoller, something's up, man. And I think some people are being useful idiots, too. Because they just want to follow behind the hot guy. You know? They want to hang out with the hot chick. Or the hot guy. However you want to put it. The hot woman. The pretty woman. The it girl. Like, I don't know, man. Don't get pissed off at me. I'm trying to, back in high school, you want to hang out with the cool kids. You want to hang out with the popular kid so that some of the coolness rubs off on you. And now you become a useful idiot. That's all I'm saying. Fastriola, thank you. Rafael Rodriguez, come on, man. I thought you'd like me. I do like you. What'd you do? Did you call up and say something crazy? Hey, Sheldon, Tim, you ought to go. Thanks, man. I do like you, man. Who are you? Who the hell are you, man? I don't know you. I probably do like you. Oh, was it the guy who called up and was like, do you hear me talking to you? What's wrong, man? Karen Webster, you keep up the good work too, Karen. Thank you. Oopsie. There's no Democrats and Republicans. There are rich and powerful, and then there's the rest of us. It's a big club. It's a big club. And you ain't in it. Fastriola, thank you. Freedom, love, flow. Bernie endorsed a sexual predator. And America elected one. Latanya Bailey, I thought Joe was picking Pekinga. Oh, I thought Joe was picking a VP. How does Bernie fit? We're back. Latanya, what's up, man? I don't know. No pain, no gain, Tim. I love you, Latanya. Thank you. Al, taste the cornbread tonight, Tim. Thanks for going live. You're welcome. You're welcome. Look, I was on time tonight, too, wasn't I? I caught you guys off guard. You're like, what the hell? Tim Black on time? Yeah. Tyler Perry said it's wrong. It's inappropriate to be late. I'm trying to do a better job with the timing, guys. Got to do a better job. I must do a better job. Tanya, hey, Tanya. Just a reminder that the primary suppose was suspicious as hell. Check out the investigation by TDMS Research. People say it all the time. And we keep saying, go check it out. Vetlana Sanikova. Oh, Dave Ale said that. Check out TDMS. And Savita Vitanya. Tim been watching you since 2015. Had it not been for Bernie, I wouldn't have found you talented self. Why not? Looking forward to moving forward together. Thank you. Yes, we are. I'm Sean Connery. Welcome to the Wolfpack, Sean. Alicia, thanks for the show. Much love, Wolfpack. No Joe. Love it. Love it. They're my people. Joe Famous. I'm afraid Tom Perez and the DNC will cancel the remaining primaries and the convention and jump straight to Biden. Latanya Bailey, what Latanya say last comment? She said, a woman VP, let it be a good woman. Because you know, Latanya, you know ain't all women are good. All women are not good. Just like all men are good. Can we get the right woman? Can we get the right one, baby? That's all I'm saying. Can we get the right person? That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'll take Senator Nina Turner. Hey. Rashida Tlaib, I'll take her. You know, we just gotta. Well, some people say it may be Hillary. All right now, see? She's a woman. Right? She's a woman. Someone said debatable. Who said that? No, she's a woman, Johnson. Whew, that's it, guys. I love you. Be safe. Come back to the show. Please subscribe. YouTube don't like me again. They mad at me. We were doing well. Then I screwed up and I started arguing with people. And now we're not doing well again. But we'll be back because I'm stubborn and I'm good at what I do. And more importantly, I got you. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Hashtag Tim Blacks, Wolfpack, hashtag No Joe, hashtag Not Me Yes. Find me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Find me at Tim Black at Night on Instagram. Don't forget, become a member of the Wolfpack for only $5. That's $5 per month. That's a good cup of coffee somewhere pricey that you don't need to go. Get me one of those per month. We good. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, or join me on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. And, yeah. Keep your head up, Johnson.